It's time for the Dinner with Schmucks podcast.
So, do you guys like any podcasts?
Say shh, shh. Now say muck, muck. Now say shh and muck together real fast. Smuck, closer.
A podcast about nothing and everything.
I wrote her a good review. Well, I wrote the establishment a good review on Yelp.
You said something like, yeah, that's all I got. I wasted my go panties. And then I had to act like it wasn't a big deal.
Now here's your hosts, Chris and Yajaira.
So everybody, welcome to First Friday, Scranton December edition.
Straight out of Scranton.
Straight out of Scranton. I can't believe we are less than a month from Christmas now.
It blows my mind, dude. I mean, apparently, because Thanksgiving's not always on the same actual date. What is it, the fourth Thursday in November or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
And so sometimes there's an extra week between Thanksgiving and Christmas, but this year it's close, man. It's like a solid month, and it's just already flying by, dude.
In the retail world, being that I was not technically in the retail world, but a supplier to the retail world for so long, it's actually better when you get that when Thanksgiving's a week early because they get an extra week of Christmas selling.
Oh yeah, it's more sales.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
They don't, retailers don't like it when it's this late. However, as somebody who, like a kid, you go Thanksgiving and then it's Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, you got less school in between the two holidays.
Exactly. Oh, and that was the best in college.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Because you come back and you have like a week of class, you take your finals.
And then you're done.
And then you're done for...
Out scout.
For 5 weeks or whatever
I know.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, those were the good old days.
Yeah.
Now you just get up and go to work.
And
after you're full of turkey and booze. You're right back to work.
This also marks roughly a year since I've been back in NEPA, too.
Yeah, I mean, according to the magical Facebook post, which is always correct, it was December 5th last year, right?
It was official.
Yeah, official. You're official.
Hashtag official.
Hashtag official. Hashtag NEPA.
NEPA. So back in NEPA, and we've just dealt with a week of snow up here.
And it's and right now it's like kind of raining, kind of sleeting, and I think my mom, hashtag Dieter's mom, told me we're supposed to get an inch tonight up my way, but I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, I'm okay with the snow now. We're early enough in the season.
To be okay? You mean late enough in the season?
No, early enough in the season to have like snow. When it gets like February, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
In
by
the
then
winter
you're done.
season. Yeah, exactly.
Done with that. Yeah.
So we take it now. Hopefully we'll have a white Christmas. Hopefully we won't have some sort of snowstorm next weekend that'll hinder our festivities.
Yeah, that would be a drag, although we'll still have a good time.
Yeah, people are going to come out to drink either way. Yeah. So you're definitely going to want to be there next Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Stalter's Cafe in downtown Scranton, Providence Road.
Right next to the Glider Diner.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to and we have musical guests too. We have Jamie McClanahan of the Victory Drive is going to be providing us some live music for the evening. He's super excited about it. He's going to come on, do a little talking with us. Just generally, he's a big fan of the podcast. He's always supportive of it. He's going to be donating some CDs that we're going to be raffling off as part of our raffle packages.
Nice.
So definitely, I've listened to more and more of his stuff. I'm getting into it more and more. Like I put together a compilation of all of our artists we had on the artist interview series this year, and I did them in order of when they appeared. So the first 3 songs on the compilation are his, and I sing them all. I sing along to him now. All those songs on there.
You're a super fan.
I kind of am now.
Yeah, and you can be too if you win that CD in the raffle. You'll be right up there with the Seababs.
Yeah, there you go.
You'll have to battle him for the #1 fan spot.
I think I'm probably out battled for that already.
That's true.
By some teenage girl.
We found out today that you can't tie knots.
I cannot tie knots.
That a woman who weighs probably half your weight, who rock climbs, can out-tie you in pretty much in a flash.
Yeah, so we'll see if Jess stops by.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah. So how is everybody out there doing? I see people milling about.
Yeah.
Give us a wave.
We're going to insert some crowd noise.
Yeah, we'll make it sound like we've got a packed house in front of us.
Yeah. This feels like one of my gigs, playing the saxophone. I see the backs of people's heads, and yeah. No, but it's a good vibe in here, man. You know, it's so much different than from when we came here as teenagers after the Steamtown Mall first opened.
Which was, what did we figure out, 90...
I wanted to say 92.
92, 93, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. So we were 13, 14 years old.
Yeah. And I meant to get around to looking it up, and I just ran out of time. But we were going to find like an old, basically, directory of them all. I wanted to see where we're sitting. I said we might be sitting in the kitchen of the old Wendy's.
But I have a feeling that was a little further down that way. Because I feel like when I was eating my number 2 from, and I don't mean I was eating duty, but, off of the menu, number 2 from Wendy's, the double stack, right?
Double, yeah, Dave's double.
Yeah, Dave's double. Dave Thomas, God bless you. No, but I feel like we would eat right out in front of it, and I felt like that was a little more down to, down towards the window side.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember. It was so long ago, and then I don't know. I don't remember. I think the mall was still the Steamtown Mall before I moved away. And it was at some time when I moved away that it kind of changed and all this transformation happened into what we're looking at now, which is a great space now. And we're going to have some of the local vendors that are in here are going to be stopping by starting in about a half hour. So we're going to talk to some of them. You guys get a feel of what's going on at this space these days. If you're a fan of The Office, the Steamtown Mall was mentioned multiple times in there. Michael brought all the girls here to discuss Jan and bought them all underwear at Victoria's Secrets.
Oh, nice. Yeah, which is no longer here.
Here.
Speaking of Victoria's Secrets, didn't we just find out that they canceled their fashion show?
Yeah, that's what Yajaira said before we left.
Yeah. I hope I'm not jumping the gun on that.
No,
but,
we don't have a kite. We can't fly a kite in here.
That's right. Well, yeah, we're always indoors.
You tore down the third wall.
I did. I tore down the third wall. No, but I heard that. And
we can't fly a kite because of the trains next door.
Yeah.
Oh no, that doesn't work. It's not an airport.
No, that doesn't really.
Nothing in the airspace.
No.
No, the truth is, we just wanted to come here and just kind of play it off the cuff. I mean, we have a couple things, and we
got some ideas.
We do,
but we don't like to restrict ourselves. I'm a jazz musician. I'm all about improvisation
and playing notes wrong.
Exactly, and fear. It's based on fear. And I'll tell you what, I'm scared to death right now. So we're doing good.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm fine.
That initial,
that was an attempt at humor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Can't you tell by the laughter?
Wait, I have something.
You just got jammed.
Oh, you just got jammed.
I thought that didn't work.
Nice. There you go.
I think everybody's awake now too.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have to send multiple shout outs out to Yajaira tonight. So like you said, she told us that the Victoria's Secret fashion show was canceled, and I was simultaneously bummed and not caring at the same time because I was like, I'd like to see that, and then I realized, well, it's not that interesting to me.
Yeah, and it's on like CBS or something.
Right.
Like I remember, 10 years ago, I remember, not recording it, but downloading it after it aired.
Oh, right.
But as I said earlier, I think the one I did, Katy Perry was in it, and she performed at the end.
Oh, really?
I think.
Was she modeling?
No.
But
she was wearing some crazy outfit as she normally does anyway.
Well, that's true, yeah.
So
yeah, but
it's still Katy Perry.
I think I remember the first time I saw one of those. The angels walk down with those wings on, and I was like, "Dang, look at the size of those wings." And
the wings.
Yeah, no, I'm serious though. And then I'm sure I was alone watching it, so I probably thought to myself, "Dude, why are you looking at the wings?"
Boom.
Roasted.
Oh, there it is.
The great Michael Scott.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So we blew right through that topic.
We are gonna. If anybody is walking by, you want to stop by and say hello. You want to give a shout out. You just want to meet Dieter and I. Feel free. We got a couple of extra mics.
Yeah, we're interesting dudes.
Yeah, we're looking for anyone to come on and tell a story.
Pretty much, yeah. If you got something to show, I'll take a look. DrDieterPeter.com.
Dr. Dieter Peter, yeah.
Yep.
We also want to try to get Santa on the podcast. I know Santa's wandering around in here somewhere.
I did see the jolly old elf somewhere.
He's not an elf.
No, he is actually. He's the head elf.
But how come he doesn't have elf ears?
Well, I think originally he did. I think it's just been so, commercialized. But I think he technically is an elf. He's the grand elf. Which I don't understand the size difference.
Yeah, exactly. Elves are small.
Yeah, but
and Santa's a jolly fat man.
He is, but he's magical also. Maybe he magically grew himself, which is a skill I'd like to have.
Oh, this is going to be a weird one tonight.
I think so. Yeah. I'm just trying to get dirty looks from people. Like, what did he just say? It's not working yet.
Without being overtly dirty.
Yeah, I'm all about the covertness.
Did I use that word right?
Overtly dirty, yeah. What, dirty? Yeah, you
no.
used it right.
I tell you, that's a band name, Overtly Dirty.
It is, yeah. It's a little bit of a mouthful.
Well, that's what she said.
That's what she said, yeah.
That's what she said.
Dirty. Yeah, I remember years ago, I think probably for one of our bands, I was at home and I I said to my mom, because she's my best friend, hi Mom. Apparently I have no other friends.
Why didn't they come out tonight? Because you didn't invite them?
No, I mean, Ethan's working, he was working a 10-hour shift in town tonight. He's not too far away right now. He's there for about another hour. But yeah, then he's going to be beat and he's heading home. And, my mom's taking care of the dog who just got the old snip.
Ooh.
So he's at home recovering, even though he acts like nothing happened to him. So yeah, they got stuff going on. But what was my point?
Overtly Dirty.
Oh, yeah, so I said to my mom, I was like, I have the best band name ever, Crisis Averted. And she's like, no, that's terrible. It's too much to say. No one's going to be able to spell it right.
But we used a name such as Typical Situation.
Yeah, well, and in
Clutter.
Yeah, all bad
K.
names. All bad names. Clutter with a K. It's the worst.
The Big Thing. Although we stole that from Chicago.
We did. Didn't we try Free Gas too?
Did we ever try that? I don't remember.
I don't know. We talked about it.
Yeah, free gas.
Maybe
we did.
In all of the tons of gigs we played, we could have used all those different names. We could have used a different name for every song in our few gigs.
I feel like there's a band that's done that before.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So we were talking about something in the car driving over here. And I said, as we do so many times, we get together and we start talking and we're like, stop, save it for the podcast.
Yeah, and now we have no idea what it was.
And once again, I've forgotten what it was.
Yeah, I think it had to do with the mall.
Well, it definitely had to do with the mall. I think we were talking about, we grew up up by Lake Wallenpaupack. So Scranton was the, quote, big city for us, growing up. And I was telling you earlier that, like, when I was in high school and driving, like, I would treat driving in Scranton like driving in New York City. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That is what we were talking about.
Because, I mean, first of all, I had no sense of direction. And I don't think it's gotten better. Yeah. Maybe it has. I guess I've learned stuff now.
No, I think you're pretty good. I mean, I had a better sense of direction when I first started driving. I don't know why. But, I rarely got lost, or when I made a wrong turn, I was like, oh, I'm going the wrong way, but I just managed, I knew where I had to get, and I managed to get there. But,
my problem is I can't, like Yajaira would say this all the time. She's like, down in Tampa, she's like, everything's just a grid.
Mm-hmm.
And I've, for whatever reason, for all I can picture in my mind with graphic design and this, that, and the other thing, I just cannot say, hey, this is a grid. I need to go 3 streets over and go in the same direction.
Yeah, see, and that's exactly how my brain works. Like living in New York City, that's a total grid,
yeah.
except for a few neighborhoods that aren't like that. But so before GPS came out and before even like MapQuest.
Speaking of GPS, remember when I used to come see you in the city and you'd be out there with your cell phone with Apple or Google Maps saying, all right, you need to go up, and I had no idea where I am. And you're
we were talking on the phone,
You're
right?
talking me to your apartment from the Lincoln or Holland Tunnel.
Yeah.
Turn by turn.
I used to do that with Bob and Vince would come either to hang or play a gig, and Vince would call me because I think at that point there was service in the tunnel, so he'd call me from the tunnel, and at that point I didn't have to look. I could just talk him through it. I gave him turn by turn directions over the phone. But no, what I was going to say, so even before GPS came out, like the way I visualized stuff in my mind was like an aerial view of like a 3D aerial view of where I was, and I could like manipulate it
like a GPS.
Yeah, and then GPS came out, and I was like, oh, that's what's in my head, except a lot better.
So and this is, I know, exhilarating talk.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's the opposite with me. As I got GPS and could start to see things, and I guess I always could before if I had a map, but I wasn't looking at a map while I drove. So
no.
Now that I can visualize it, I see it on the screen. Now I know I don't have to have it up. I just kind of know where to. I don't know.
Yeah,
complete opposite.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's so weird how the human mind works.
It's pretty bizarre. I'm fascinated by that stuff, though. I mean, neuroscience and the plasticity of the brain, and what really fascinates me is mental representations, which is that's what we're talking about, like the way you picture something in your mind. And I've told a few people this, and I told my mom.
Every story comes back to that.
So I was telling her, like, I didn't realize that the way I visualized a week and the year in my mind was weird. And I think I've asked a bunch of people, like, so when you picture, a week, how do you picture it, like, in your head? Like, is it like a calendar, like horizontal?
I guess.
Okay.
Like linear?
Yeah. I see it in my mind, like projected in front of me, almost like an oval, and it goes counterclockwise. So Monday is at the top, Tuesday is down and to the left, Wednesday is below that, Thursday is down and to the right, Friday's at the bottom, and then Saturday and Sunday go up the right side.
I think you need to get that checked out.
I know, it's bizarre, right? And what's funny is Saturday and Sunday are the biggest ones spatially in my mind, probably because I want the weekend to last the longest.
So you're seeing it as a pie chart?
No, it's more like a wheel. It's a wheel.
But broken up into like sliver, sliver, and then
they're not. It's more like it's a wheel broken up into slivers. So not. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know what that chart's called. You can hit the little paper clip in Excel, and he'll make it do. He'll do it for you.
Yeah, sure. But and I picture the year that way too. The months of the year.
And in a counterclockwise motion,
yeah,
which is strange.
Counterclockwise. I know, it's bizarre. And same thing with that.
You need to get that checked out.
I know. So the summer months, June, July, and August, they go across the bottom of the wheel, and they're the longest ones because I want the summer to be longest. And then December, like is over the top, and then you get past like 12 o'clock going towards 11 o'clock. And then January, February, March, and April are crammed together because they're cold and snowy, and I don't like those months.
But April's a good month.
It is. So maybe just the first 3 months.
Just the first 3. When you're sick of the snow.
Yeah.
As we bring it full circle back to that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I got problems in my head.
I don't know if it's a problem. I mean, you see things differently. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and I don't think I saw anything that made me think of it. That's just the way my brain said, "Oh, this is how you conceptualize
time,
those chunks of time." Yeah.
Yeah, me, I'm
things.
just a good linear, which is weird because most stuff I see.
Yeah.
Crack one.
Yep.
Just all
Put
over
a
the
dollar
place.
in the swear jar.
Yeah, it's just for this week only.
Yeah. We'll make up for it. Don't you worry.
Yeah, listen to any other episode.
Yeah.
We never did go back to the WESS one and add the curse words in afterwards.
I know, that's a good idea. We should almost do that. Like, next time we're going to take a break.
Which will be after next week.
Okay, well, we should go back and edit them in.
I think we should go back and find 1 or 2 episodes and sit down and recut it to make it sound
I'm into
completely
that.
different.
Yeah.
Just find we can do this one, make it sound interesting.
Yeah. If it's even possible. Hopefully, once our vendors come, we'll actually have something.
Yeah, we get some guests
say.
in here. So again, this is our 99th episode, and having Yajaira here could have done a little more of a not better. Could have done a little more of a retrospect because she's been here since episode 1 that we recorded back in erotic Riverview, Florida. Inception back in 2017. So took us a little over 2 years. I don't know. Is that thing just popping? Maybe that's why he sold me that speaker.
Oh, maybe it could be. Yeah.
As long as it's just having the speaker and not.
Yeah,
it
hopefully.
shouldn't be anything through here.
Well, we'll find out.
So, but yeah, it's taken us a little over 2.5 years. About 2.5 years. We started in. I guess our first episode came out in July of 2017. So, a little over 2 years to get to episode 100. Which, I mean, we would, for the most part, really, with the exception of this time last year, when we were doing the move and had to get up here, get settled, build a studio and whatnot. I mean, we've been pretty consistent week over week, and and technically we are above 100 episodes.
Yeah, you've got a lot of 0.5.
There's some other stuff in there, yeah. So
plus the artist interviews. I mean, if you want to consider that a separate thing or not.
What do we got here? You want to come on?
Yeah, you want to say something?
I can. Which one?
Yeah,
the blue one.
The blue
Either one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's closer to my face. My name's Denise Gordon. I own Household 6 Creations.
Oh, great.
We've been here, Sunday it was 2 years.
Wow.
We've been very successful here, so much so that we just expanded.
Nice.
We make all kinds of canned goods. We have sauces and mustard and hot sauce and pickled things and marinated things. And now we do gourmet hot dogs with the products that we make.
Very good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why I handed that back to you. Can I keep that?
You can hang on to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds really good.
So give us a try.
Yeah. And where are you located in here?
We are in booth D3. So we're right at the end of the center aisle. We take up 2 spaces right behind Soup Chick.
Okay.
Oh,
Sounds
nice.
good.
Yeah.
All right. So
Thanks.
I'm already starving, so I'll probably be over later.
Good.
Yeah.
We will be there.
So
Excellent.
stop by
Thank you.
Household
Thank you.
Creations.
Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely brand new for us. I mean, so we've done, technically 100 plus episodes. This is officially episode 99, and it is our first one we're doing out in a public place like this.
Yeah.
Every other one has been, for the most part, have all been in a studio or out one-on-one with somebody. We did a couple of great ones back in September of last year. We sat down with the guys from the Victory Drive, Rookie of the Year, people from Oklahoma Stackhouse, and oh my God, Brilliant Lie stopped by. We did the first gig on their tour. It was the Rookie of the Year was doing their 10th anniversary tour for their album Sweet Attention, or The Sweet Attention. So it was great. My brother was actually playing in the Victory Drive at the time. He had managed Rookie of the Year before. So Ryan was gracious enough. He came on, and a clip from that is actually featured in episode 98.5.
WKRZ. Yeah. I just can't help myself.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know. A pretty good representation so far. It's a clips episode. It's doing actually really well right now. And so there's a great clip on there from when we did the podcast with those guys, Not So Live in Orlando, or Not So Live from Orlando. We also did probably one of my favorites was Not So Live from the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah.
We were down there.
How could it not be one of your favorites? You were in the Bahamas.
I know, podcasting, sitting outside, like oceanside.
Nice.
Sitting around a fire pit. We had I think 6 people on the podcast that night, and my wife and I were down there for a wedding, and with Lisa, former co-host, who is making the trip up to celebrate the 100th with us next week.
Lisa Bobisa. Making the trip north.
Making the trip to the hashtag Paris of the Northeast.
That's right. I love that.
But we had 6 of us, including one of them. We did 2 parts. We did one night with just the 3 of us, and then the next night we had the 6 people, including them was the bride, who was, let's say, drunk.
Oh, okay. Well, as she should be.
As she should be.
Yeah.
Her
As a
husband,
divorced man, I recommend being drunk all the time during your marriage, by the way.
Her husband was too drunk to even make an appearance, so
Good
I
for
think he
him.
was in the hotel room being sick. And we did just eat hibachi before that, Japanese hibachi.
Oh, that'll do it,
and
dude.
he drank a ton of sake.
Oh, yeah. Dangerous.
And by the way, we were the only, so they had their wedding in the Bahamas right after Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, a year before that, at the exact same time, the Bahamas was getting nailed with a hurricane.
Oh, right.
So when they sent out that date, we're like, all right, you guys booked that because you got a tremendous deal.
Yeah.
Because it's in the height of hurricane season. Like, I was scared to get on a plane.
I don't blame you,
to fly
man.
down there, let alone be on some little island, that got hit again this year.
Obliterated, yeah.
I mean, it was the other side from where we were, I think, that got hit with this one this past year.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So anyway, but so we were there, I think, Thursday or maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday or whatever, and into Monday. And on the last night, it was I think it was maybe that Sunday night, almost everyone in the resort had left. And there was 7 of us left from the wedding party. And
That's pretty sweet. So you had the place to yourselves.
Kind of, except
Nice.
that half the stuff was closed.
Yeah. Oh.
Because everything that's supposed to be open was all closed because there wasn't enough people at the resort currently.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was great. You can go in the pool. There was nobody there, et cetera.
Nice.
But
you could pee in the pool
yeah,
without, feeling too guilty.
well, yeah. You can
Although,
also
do
do
you
that
ever
late
really
at
feel
night.
guilty?
No,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't even know I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that all the time. I might be peeing right now.
Yeah, I'll let you know if you are. Yeah. Which is funny because I'm usually the one
you're
that's
right,
going
yeah.
nonstop.
I think we'll probably end up taking a break here for Dieter to use the facilities.
I mean, I could go right now. But we're about to.
Yeah, we're gonna start to talk to some of the local vendors out of the marketplace here, and I think we might actually, maybe after we talk to them for a couple minutes, I think we might try to take a quick break because I do want to go down and see if we can catch the folks from Making Music Matters to make sure that they're going to stop by, because we want them to really kind of explain to everyone what they do. And again, as we said, I think we said this last week, as we said, former band geeks. However, the two of you are still.
Oh, we're very current.
Still current band
We're
geeks.
card-carrying band geeks.
And I mean, I still am, because I still listen to high school music when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I'll still put on the Wallen Pawpack Jazz Band concert and listen to it.
That's cool.
So,
but I'm still. I mean, I got you all beat. I mean, I don't know how much Yajaira actually practices.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, I mean, and granted, for a real musician, I don't practice nearly enough. But I try to get an hour a day in. There's days where I can't manage it. Like Tuesday, I worked 10 hours, and then my stomach was bothering me, so I went home and just totally crashed out. But other than that, so I'm a total band geek, man. I spent the morning. I played for 2 hours and 20 minutes this morning, and was transcribing Charlie Parker's introduction to Round Midnight.
For what? Just for fun?
Well, to make myself better. I mean, my teacher wanted me to do that.
Okay. So for your
also,
teacher.
but yeah, I bet it's the best thing you can do for yourself as a jazz musician is transcribe, and learn language.
I don't have the ear for that. You know me. I used to. I was I don't know what. You're the custodian of the Hall of Records here for the podcast.
True.
I kind of felt like that's how I was. That's kind of how I feel like I was all through high school and college with our goings-ons, in terms of bands and whatnot. And
what do you mean? You were the custodian of the.
Yeah, kind of, right? I had to clean up everything.
I don't.
No, but even today, I came across just the other day, I sent to you and Matt a song that I found that.
Oh, in that sense, yeah. No, like, you are the Hall of Records.
When it comes to that, I just kind of keep all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I still like going back and listening to that stuff.
Yeah, you're like an archivist.
Okay, that's a better word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank God for it, man, because I didn't keep any of that stuff if I ever even had it. And, mediums have changed so much. Like, if I had it on tape and then CD, like, I don't own any CDs anymore. So it's just all gone. So I'm grateful that you have that stuff.
Yeah, and I had, like, back last summer or last spring, before I had moved back up here, I know I had found videos of, like, our old, like, high school or jazz band concerts and concert band, and I ripped them all and put them on YouTube. So, like, I think the entire concert, or there's certain songs on YouTube, and then I made it available to basically all of our friends, our former band director and everything. Mm-hmm. The audio recordings from those. I bring them in, try to do a little bit of. You can't really do much when you recorded it to crappy quarter-inch, cassette tape.
Well, yeah.
Through a crappy recorder, through some crappy mics.
I know.
In an auditorium,
but it's there. But we have it.
But it's there, yeah.
And
you kind of let that go when you listen to it, and you're like, oh, that's not the greatest quality, but
yeah. I mean, it's like listening to. I mean, especially me. Like on the way over to your place today, I was listening to Lester Young, and he's
Lester leaps in.
Yeah, I mean,
I got it right that time.
That's pre-bebop, so that's old school. So those recordings are not good quality, even when they're remastered. Like, there's a lot of noise and stuff in there that you don't hear on modern recordings, and a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm used to it, and for me, it adds to the nostalgia of it.
That you're hearing the old one mic in a room.
Right, exactly, yeah.
The way they used to record is, compared to today with multi-tracking and going in and cutting everything up to say, hey, this note's going to be over here now.
Right.
Hey, this note's a half cent off. I can fix that.
Yeah. Which, by the way, has saved me in the recording studio many times.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
But you lose some of that...
well, it loses some realness.
Yeah, exactly. Realness or spontaneity.
Right, authenticity. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good word for it, but
I think it is.
Yeah,
I think authenticity.
No, but I was also
works.
don't get me wrong either. Like you said, you don't have the ear for it when I was talking about transcribing. So it took me a long time to transcribe. I don't know, like 4 measures of music, because it's just the intro, and I'm using software called Transcribe. Which is great to use, and it'll slow it down without changing the pitch.
Oh, okay.
And that's
stuff that just wasn't available to us 20 years ago.
Right. And I don't know.
It was play the tape, pause.
Yeah.
Keyboard out. All right. Rewind. What did he do again?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Or we give it to Sloan and say, hey, you do this. You've got a magic ear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn,
but
Sloan.
Again, that's giving it to someone else. You're doing yourself a disservice because you're not doing the work.
No.
That's what makes you better.
But yeah, and I probably would have helped me back then, but in the long run, music didn't end up being what I followed through all the way.
Not for a career.
No.
You still are involved in it. It's just not your career.
I guess. I mean, I definitely feel like I hadn't been for like the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. To nobody's fault other than my own, that I just never really, outside of when I initially moved down to Tampa, I found somebody to play with pretty quickly. And then when kind of that fell apart and my cymbals were stolen,
yeah, well,
part of it was because I didn't have cymbals anymore.
Yeah, that'll put a damper on your ability to play that kit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
I like jammed with a couple other people like once or twice, and then that was about it, really. Until I moved back, I come up here for like the holidays. I'd go over to Matt's house and play with him for a little bit. A couple times I drove up. I brought my electric kit with me so I could still, so I could just go out and just play.
Yeah.
But yeah,
do you remember at your first wedding? at some point, like afterwards at your house at the reception, like I think you sat down at the kit and you may have given me like is that when I got the iwi?
You'd gotten that when you came and visited when I first moved to Florida.
Yeah, and so I don't know what
I don't think you had it then.
Oh, but I'm
pretty sure you were forced to get rid of it.
Yeah. Oh, I was. But my now ex I was like, I'm gonna go hang in there and like jam or whatever, just hang out, and I wasn't allowed to.
Oh yeah, because we went there. We did like a silent headphone jam.
Yeah.
Because we did that. Were you there? We did that at Mark's one year over Christmas.
I don't think so.
I thought it was you.
Really?
I thought it was you, my brother, Mark, and me. And we set up like his living room, and he had his JP, and we all plugged into the headphone amp. I had my electric drums, and we just played like nobody would hear a note outside of our headphones.
Oh, if I was there, I just don't remember.
I think I have photos from it.
Oh, evidence.
Evidence. There were some of the more safe. No, I'm not gonna say safe photos.
Tame.
Not to say I have any incriminating photos.
Photos that aren't worth anything for blackmail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're
or extortion.
Blackmail-less photos.
Yeah.
I think we are expecting Dottie from Vikki's Nut Hut right about now.
Yeah, she's past due.
Nuthouse, I'm sorry.
Nuthouse. If we're going to plug her business, we should
should plug it correctly.
Yeah, plug it correctly. But what's great about her place, so it's right when you walk into the marketplace, it's the first booth, but it's facing away from the center of the mall.
Yeah.
So it's right up there, but it's kind of, it's behind the first one. So it's real easy to get to. You can just pop in there, get yourself some.
And they have a great story. They had their grand opening a month ago of First Friday, and they were part of, for lack of a better term, like an American Idol type competition.
Nice.
Or there's probably 1,000 other things I could have used instead of that, especially since I don't watch that show.
Yeah.
Think of like the ones you see on Food Network, I guess. It was a competition where multiple, businesses vied for this space, and through a process of elimination, which hopefully they can explain to us, they had gotten this space, and I believe they get it rent-free for a certain amount of time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But they have a lot of free samples you can walk by. I think I had some buffalo ones when I was here last time.
Oh, yeah?
They were pretty good, yeah.
Oh, my God, I'm so hungry now. That's too... As soon as people start really coming and talking about their food, I'm going to be watering out of my mouth. I'm just going to be drooling all over the place. I'm starving.
Yeah, there's a lot of good options for to go ahead and eat here too.
Yeah, we're gonna have Asia from Paradise Soul Food coming on later, and we tried a little bit of that last time I was here. Oh man, I was blown away.
Yeah, very good food.
Yeah. Here comes Dottie. All right.
So we are joined by Dottie from Vikki's Nuthouse, not Nut Hut like I just said.
Yeah, I told them if you're going to promote their business, you should say it correctly,
Yep. Welcome to the Nuthouse.
That's right.
So we were just saying that you guys have that space because of the you guys opened up a month ago at First Friday in November, and you'd won that space through I forgot what the name of the competition was.
And
so
me
did
too
you.
Right now.
The point is that you won, though. That's what matters. Yeah.
We won.
Yeah.
It was like an entrepreneur new business contest, yeah. And we won a $20,000 prize package.
Wow.
$5,000 seed money.
That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So
and a free lease for a year.
For a year, okay.
Wow.
I was going to say, I thought there was a free lease involved too. So, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's so. Where were you guys? Did you guys have any sort of a location before, or were you kind of?
We have a certified kitchen in Plains that we work out of, and then normally we attend all the local fairs, county fairs, and craft shows.
And your daughter Vikki is actually over at the
Lackawanna
Market that's going on somewhere here in the city.
Yep,
a couple blocks
correct.
away, I think, right?
Yeah.
A block away.
Is that all weekend?
That is.
Okay.
So tonight it's till 10, tomorrow it's 10 to 7, and then on Sunday it's 9 to 4.
Okay. And for people listening to this on Monday via the podcast, that was before you guys heard this.
Yeah.
It's over.
That's more for the people here in the marketplace hanging out right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the marketplace, we're here every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 11 to 4.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So,
Yeah.
How did you guys get started doing this? Was it just something like a passion project that you guys said, it's something we always wanted to do, or?
We always wanted to have our own business. Both of us have strong retail backgrounds as store managers. So an opportunity just fell on our lap with the previous owners. They wanted to retire and sell all of their equipment, and we just...
No, there goes our frame.
We're haunted. That's weird because the old owner just passed away a few weeks ago. That's him saying...
Oh, there he is.
He's saying hello.
Yep.
But yeah, and then he taught us the recipes, and we took off. And so they were scaling down, and now we're scaling up.
Yeah. Awesome. Wow, that's cool. It's cool that you kind of took over and established, but there were people who knew who you were before.
Yeah, we changed the name, but they knew the product. So
yeah,
it was good because it's a hard process. It took me a year to learn how to make them.
To make the nuts.
Year.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
just couldn't get it.
And that's what I find so interesting too, because you think a lot. I'm assuming a lot of people would think, oh well, they're just nuts. What could be involved in that? But I know from the little bit of things I've done outside of my wheelhouse that as simple as it looks, it's usually incredibly complex, and you got to put a lot of time and effort into it.
Yes, Vikki picked it up right away. Me, on the other hand, not so much. But we don't use mixes. We actually have a recipe. We have an authentic German roaster from Germany.
Yeah, we have an authentic German here, too.
Yeah, well, I was born here. My dad's from Germany.
Oh, that's fantastic. Because, can you speak German?
Ein bisschen.
Yeah.
A little.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
So our recipe originally is in German, and you try to translate it. It's very difficult.
Yeah,
that's straight out of the Food Network right there. That's a story from Restaurant Impossible or something.
I know,
and
right?
Robert goes in and they have these recipes that he can somehow understand and nobody else can.
Yeah.
I'd have to sit there with a dictionary though and figure it out.
We did a little bit with Google Translate. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Again, something that was just not available to us in high school when we took German class.
I know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the kids have it so easy today.
They do.
Remember when we were told that you wouldn't walk around with a calculator on you all the time?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Two of them on me at all times.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I mentioned before, you guys have a lot of free samples out there, which is great. So you're in a great location right at basically the front of the marketplace behind Osborne Specialties, who have awesome cookies, by the way.
Oh, yes. Very good pumpkin roll.
Give them the nuts for the cookies. You guys can...
I just talked to them. I said we need to collaborate.
You guys are on the same page. That's
there you
good.
go.
Yeah.
And Utter Delights, we need to get with them. We can use as a topper of the ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the people that sell alcohol made out of honey. So you combine it all together.
There you go.
We have a good time right here in the marketplace.
I know she already made a martini, I think, with our nuts, dropping them in.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we got to hang out here more often. It's the place to be.
So we're gonna do one more. We want to try something new tonight with our guests. We have. We're gonna fire at you a couple of rapid fire questions, just quick answers, just fun stuff.
You didn't pre-warn me about this.
Well,
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna let Dieter pick the first question.
All right, go.
Oh, okay, sure. So, all right. Well, so we're coming up on Christmas, so this is a fill in the blank. So Santa is
large and jolly.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we were talking about that before.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I was saying he's like the head elf.
Exactly.
And he's still an elf, but he's a big dude. So we were kind of confused about how he's an elf yet large and.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it that way, but yes, that's odd, right?
These are the things I think about late at night.
Are you cake or
Are
you cake or pie person?
Cake.
All right. One more.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Do you prefer texting or talking?
Talking.
Oh, good. Well, that's why. And that's why you did so well here. Yeah.
Texting can be misconstrued very easily.
You're right.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what our youth is missing. They don't understand body language, the tone. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you prefer?
Well, it depends on with whom I'm communicating. Some people I prefer to talk to. Other people I'd rather just text.
Okay.
I'd rather text because I talk on this.
That's true. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, Dottie, thank you so much. Guys, check out
you.
Vikki's
Thank you
Nuthouse
so
here
much.
in the Scranton Public Market. Any specials going on for the holidays?
We have variety packs. We'll custom make and holiday tins, and everything's available on the website, vickisnuthouse.com.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
See you later.
And I think we see. There you go. Yeah. See, it wasn't bad. And I think we've got our next guest already here waiting for us. Cloud Bembenki. I knew I was going to screw it up, right? But the blue one.
It's Bembenik.
Bembenik.
Very Czechoslovakian. I can't even pronounce it half the time, so it's all right.
And you are from Corvid, the alternative art store here in the marketplace.
Yeah, I like to nickname it Not Topic, like Hot Topic. But cool.
Not Topic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
I like the shirt. I saw that hanging there when we were
Thank you.
when we were over there talking to you. So you tell us a little bit about your place, what you guys do.
It's
and
like
is it yours or
it is predominantly mine. Okay. I have a business partner in it. She pays like a little bit in rent, and then she just keeps all the profit because I'm not interested in having to deal with percentages.
Well, that's a good deal. How do I get in on that?
I'm going to open a place, have you run it, I'll keep all the money.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, basically it's like my store, and then it's a collection of other people's artwork also, and then I just felt like we needed a darker kind of store around here, just to fill in kind of like a Hot Topic or like someone else said, a smaller Strange and Unusual, which I'll take that as cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mainly do like clothing and just prints, and then my business partner, she does the taxidermy, butterflies, skeletons, all that kind of fun shit. I can curse, right?
I mean, yeah, we don't care, but we're trying, because of where we are. But yeah,
all right.
Normally,
if you listen to our normal podcast, it's pretty nasty.
All right.
So,
NSFW.
Yeah.
NSFW.
Yeah, you're not going to offend us.
Cool.
So,
But
there any specials you got going on here for the holidays? Anything?
Not particularly. We'll actually be closing after this month, but we'll be back open in October next year. It'll just be a pop-up store.
Okay.
And all
So
that.
okay, cool.
Kind of the
But we
fourth
do
quarter. Do you do stuff? Do you have like an online presence otherwise?
Yeah. We sell online through corvidclothing.com, and Sammy, my business partner, and I, we like go throughout PA and sell vent through like punk rock flea markets everywhere.
Very cool.
Too. So we'll be doing that all around.
Do that during the summer months, and then
absolutely.
kind of have your home base here for the fall.
Yeah, it's like home base,
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and we'll have links to for your website and stuff, and in the podcast when we release it, so people can check that out.
All right.
Yeah. I just noticed your pin too. Candy corn is a sin.
Oh yes.
I love that.
Shit. What's? I'm so sorry I forget your name, but I see you everywhere, dog. I love you. Yeah. I love your artwork.
That'd be a great. I'd like a T-shirt like that. That'd be awesome.
I'll let him know if I see him again.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're gonna do a couple of rapid fire questions for you here.
All
Super Mario Brothers or Zelda?
I'd say Zelda, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the exploration. RPGs.
That's cool. Yeah, see, I was always a Super Mario guy because I was just terrible at Zelda. I was terrible at Super Mario Brothers also.
All right. Less margins vary. You just got to run and jump. That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah. All right, what's the last song you downloaded?
It would have to be Chelsea Wolfe, I guess. It would be her Hispun album.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that.
It's like a dark trance, doom, industrial. It's a whole mix of stuff.
Nice.
It's really cool, though. I like it.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
What was your last Halloween costume?
Something boring like a skull.
A skull?
Yeah, I just painted my face.
Oh, okay. So just your feet. You didn't wear like a... Because that'd be pretty cool if you wore like a skull as like a full outfit.
That'd be cool, but unfortunately, no. It was something a little boring this year, but I was busy. October's my busiest month. It's hard for me to also make a costume.
You get a pass. That's cool. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Cloud, thank you so much for stopping by. And it is Corvid Alternative Art Store, and they are here in the Scranton Public Market through the end of the month. Mm-hmm. And they'll be back next year, located up here on the second floor, booth C7, and corvidclothing.com. And you can find them on Facebook and Instagram at Corvid Clothing as well.
Awesome, guys. Thank
So
you.
thank you very much, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. No problem.
Yeah, our poster here for our event next week for
thanks.
the 100th episode live from Stalter's Cafe on Providence Road here in the Electric City.
That's right. Hashtag Paris of the Northeast.
Paris of the Northeast. So I don't know who we. I guess we're a little ahead now. I think.
Yeah, I mean, next up is going to be. It should be.
Should be Amber from the art studio, but I know she has a couple of families coming in, so
Yeah,
we're going to try to talk to her at some point in time. That is really cool too. I know Yajaira brought Raymond over here.
Oh, no kidding.
I want to say it was maybe back in the spring, and he came home with a couple of cool art projects. I mean and it looks like they just kind of got a second space now across the hall from him as a gallery.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great. You can come here, you can do some art, you can eat some great food. We didn't get a chance to kind of go out and talk to some of the other retailers and vendors in the traditional mall part of this.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. I mean, this place opened up in the early to mid 90s, and it was kind of like the hip now mall.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, malls in general in this country have really kind of almost disappeared. I found it really interesting. I was reading something a couple years ago. It must have been like 2015 because that date sticks in my head. That only in 2015 there was only one mall that opened up in the United States.
No kidding.
And it was actually down in Sarasota.
Huh.
It's a really nice mall, the University Center.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It's a real like bougie mall.
Yeah.
But 2015, one in the entire United States, one mall opened. Traditional mall.
It's just bizarre because we grew up like in when malls were still booming.
Well, yeah.
When we were growing up, that's when the strip malls were all being abandoned.
Yeah, and
for what was becoming the traditional mall, and now they're going the same direction.
It's kind of going back the other way. You still get some of these outdoor malls, kind of like around here. What we have is like the shops over at Montage. It's kind of that outdoor feel. They play much better in climates where it's not 5 degrees for 4 months of the year.
True. Yeah, or snowing or sleeting.
Yeah, that kind of comes with the territory of 5 degrees.
I guess you're right. Yeah, that's a good point there, Chris.
But and then even more now, I don't remember this number, and this was and I cannot remember the book I read this in. I feel like it was actually in some book about the history of the NFL, oddly enough. Like back in like the 60s when they gave me gave the number of like how many malls a year were opening up.
Oh, really?
And, like the juxtaposition of that to 2015 to have just one of them was mind-boggling. So and I don't know. I mean, and I haven't looked recently, if any other ones, but
What's funny though is like sorry to interrupt you. Like the Mall of America though in Minnesota, like that has never really had a problem, right? It's going strong.
Yeah, I think things like that are landmarks, really.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's like people come from all over the
and they have
world basically to go there.
Yeah, they have an amusement park. Oh, we can bring drinks from the bar out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You guys want to?
I could
tip your friendly hosts.
Yeah, with a beverage.
We are here. It's like when we used to play gig. People used to always bring us drinks when we played gig. Well, at least when I played.
Yeah,
when I was playing with Tom, and as a drummer, I could shouldn't drink too many of them or I'd start to lose time.
Yeah.
Except the one that I actually fell asleep while I was playing and kept going. Like Tom was amazed that he's like, dude, you fell asleep and you were still going.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
That almost happened to me one night when we were recording. Like I literally started to we were in such a groove. I just kind of got into a daze.
Yeah, because I saw you wake up.
Yeah, and my eyes closed and I just seriously, and I'm just kind of keeping it, and you yelled to get back to whatever we were doing to get back to the next section.
Yeah.
We all agreed that you were going to be the one to cue us back.
And you looked like
scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. You looked like you just rolled out of bed.
I bet you that's on video.
Oh yeah, probably.
That was all being. Oh no, maybe not that. That's when we were rehearsing.
Just
in the
in
same
big
room, right?
Live.
Yeah. Yeah, because what's getting me is that lobster mac and cheese picture right in front of my eyes.
I'm starving. I'm literally wasting away.
Yeah.
If only that were true.
Yeah, right. I have a few pounds to go before I'm
me too.
wasting away.
I could probably last through the winter on what I have on me right now.
we're hibernating like grizzly bears.
That's true.
Yeah, you just pack on the pounds before winter, and
it's my winter weight.
Sleep for 9 months.
Yeah.
Wake up again next fall.
Yep.
Skip the hot months. It's not that bad. Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't like any extreme. That's the thing, you know.
Though I can deal with the extreme cold rather than the extreme heat.
Yeah, I guess I can too. I mean,
so what were we talking about? We got sidetracked, and I don't know.
Well, we were talking about getting drinks, but I was going to
before that.
I don't know, but I was going to let me tag on to that. That's aside from the actual music. That's my favorite part about playing gigs is not having to pay for drinks. Yeah. Man, because, especially when I lived in the city, man, because then I'd go out and I wouldn't be playing, and I'd just get like a Jameson neat, and it'd be $12, $13. I was like, man, who can afford this?
Stadium pricing, man. Stadium pricing.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's, playing so much with Tom over the years, we'd always do a shot of Black House before we went on stage. Mm-hmm. And then, like, through the night, especially when we played, like, he played all over this town and Stroudsburg. I mean, I played with him, we had a couple spots here in Scranton or Wilkes-Barre that I played with him. And then when we played, like, Front Row in Stroudsburg, which does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like Matt saying, I'll come to the Farley's one next week. I'm like, dude, that place doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. I know why he said it, because of Mike. When he met Mike was bartending there. We always referred to him as Mike from Farley's.
Yeah.
But people would just send shots up throughout the night. And the worst was the night of... was some not like milestone birthday, but it was my birthday and we were playing, and it was the night. I remember it was the night before Easter because I had to stay at Mark's house. One of the bartenders had to drive my car with me and all my equipment in it to Mark.
No kidding.
Get picked up.
Wow.
Back to the bar to finish up.
I mean, I've definitely had nights where I should have been driven home.
I had the car for like a week.
Oh, right.
It was, and I threw up in my car.
Oh.
Like partially in, partially out. I couldn't get the window down fast enough.
Yeah, well, we've all been there too.
And I wasn't the last person to puke in. My brother puked in the car. I picked him up from the airport one day in St. Pete. And before we got out of the air, and it's the St. Pete airport's like Avoca here. It's not big. You pick somebody up at the curb, you go 15 feet, and you're out of the property. Yeah. And he vomited all and he said it was because I guess before he flew out of Allentown on Allegiant, and I think he had mentioned he had like a fillet of fish from McDonald's and something beforehand.
Bad move.
That, and then getting on the plane. You're right, just bad move. Mm-hmm. I was the first, but I wasn't the last.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then I had to get up early in the morning, drive back home, clean my car.
That's the worst part.
And then in said car, drive my mom to Jersey for the Easter.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's rough.
And I had a hangover. You could still smell it a little bit.
Yeah.
What
was that, what was that, a Hyundai?
It was my first Hyundai Tucson.
Oh,
the Tucson. Yeah, my blue one.
Yeah.
That was rough. I had a couple of Easters. If it wasn't, I'd always seem to play the night before Easter.
Yeah.
And those nights were always extremely hazy.
Well, speaking of Easter, there was one Easter when my sister was still with her ex, her first husband, that the entire family got so wasted. And my grandmother was still alive and living with my mom, so she was like right in the other room, and we're just all fall down, stupid drunk. And my sister's ex was like puking in the bathroom all night, right next to my grandmother's room, and we just all woke up the next morning like, oh, that was like we were all
such a bad idea.
Yeah, and so we refer to it as Beaster.
Okay.
Beaster. Yeah.
I just don't enjoy it anymore.
No, I can't drink like that.
I mean, I'll drink here and there. Like, we used to do charity golf things at my company. Every spring, we go to Innisbrook Golf Course over in Palm Harbor, Florida, and actually they host one of the PGA tour events. The Valspar is at that course, so it is pretty cool that we go there. Yeah, it's an incredibly tough course. Luckily, it's a scramble, so it doesn't matter how bad you are. Maybe we play 18 holes, maybe 2 holes we get to use one of my balls for something.
Oh yeah,
because I'm that bad. I was actually golfing with somebody the one day. Hit the same house twice on the same hole.
Dang, you couldn't do that if you tried.
I know. And I've hit plenty of houses, but Derek hit the same house twice.
Nice.
From 2 different spots on the course. But the night before, we'd have a big charity auction. It was great. I mean, it was we did a big. It was for All Children's Hospital. Mm-hmm. It was a great event. They still do it. Continue to do it now under the Fanatics umbrella. It became kind of like the thing to do in the industry. Like people from all the leagues showed up, but it also meant like open bar all night.
Oh yeah, well, and that's dangerous, man.
And then after the open bar there, everybody then stayed at the resort because you did your event, and then the next morning you started golfing at there was a shotgun start at 10 a.m. Mm-hmm. So y'all, it's a nice fancy resort down there, so they have like 3 or 4 different bars in there. So the party after the official event gets shut down, the party just moves to one of the other restaurants.
Yeah.
And then certain people will just put down their corporate card and say keep it open.
Yeah.
And it's like open bar again.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to pass that up. For me it is. When if people are pouring drinks, I'm drinking them.
Yeah, and I'm just downing gin and tonics, and you stumble back to your room. You don't have to drive anywhere because you're on property.
Right.
And then you wake up the next morning and you got to golf 18 holes and you have a splitting headache.
Yeah. Oh, that's awful.
You only slept like 3 hours because by the time you got to bed versus the time you wake up, it was, and then it's sunny. Mm-hmm. It's 95 degrees. It's 100% humidity, and by the time you get to the 12th hole, it's going to rain.
Right.
Because it's Florida. So
I wonder, did you ever notice if whoever was putting down the card, were they the ones that ended up getting the best score the next day? Were they kind of buying their win? Let me get these guys tanked, and that way I'm going to smoke them.
No, the ones that put down the best score were all the ones that actually knew how to golf.
Oh, right. Well, and all is right with the universe.
And the foursomes were. It was my boss. For the last couple of years I was there. My boss. The last couple of years we were there because he's not there anymore either. He was the one who did. Him and 2 other people worked on the foursomes, and they seriously spent a month working on these things.
Really?
Because they wanted to try to make it. You don't want to have this foursome with 3 amateur PGA golfers over here, and then this one with 3 people who don't know which end of the golf club to hit the ball with.
Right. Yeah. No, my dad talks about that because he golfs almost every day now down in Fort Myers in Florida. And what was he telling me last time I was down there? I blew it. I can't remember it all. Moving on.
Wait. Because...
Perfect.
Oh, wait. Yeah. There we go.
That's for me.
That's for you.
That's the sound of my life.
I honestly don't really miss golfing either.
No?
I don't. I mean, I have clubs. I have.
Yeah, I mean, I hit some balls with my dad when I go down, because they have a little driving range in their community, but I've never actually played around a golf.
In the spring, you, Mark, and I will go find a 9-hole course somewhere.
All right.
And go play golf. I don't even know where they are anymore. We used to go to the one in Marshall's Creek. When I did golf in college, because yes, I did golf in college.
Oh, I forgot about that. 1
credit.
Yeah.
And your final, you had to go play 9 holes of golf. I mean,
didn't matter what your score was.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It was like when I took skiing in college. I took that for. It's so stupid to take. You have to take phys ed credits in college.
I was taking the wrong classes in college.
Were phys ed credits a requirement for you to graduate? See, they were at ESU.
That's bizarre.
But you only needed 2 credits.
Oh, okay.
So you take these classes that are 1 credit.
Yeah.
And you go and you sit at the football field and chip plastic golf balls. And after 3 weeks of that, you go play 9 holes of golf and there's your credit. It's like pass fail too. It's not even grade.
It just seems like, that's just them trying to get money out of students, making requirements.
You know what I think it was too, though? I think it's because it's a state college, it's a state school. So they follow
it's a state thing.
Yeah, whereas you went to a private school.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you went to they're not gonna. Mm-hmm. It's for the same reason you have to take all the weird general education classes, and it's like I did this in high school.
Yeah.
But hey, you need to have 3 credits of psychology to draw pictures on a computer.
Right. I know.
And I don't get that.
No. Well, same with me. I mean, at Ithaca, that was a liberal arts college essentially, but I had to take. I think I needed 3 credits of math. And math is my arch nemesis, But
math and music makes sense.
I know. Well, yeah, and
and math and graphic design makes sense.
Well, and I'm not bad at math in general, if I can just think about it logically. But
I mean, in backwards in a pie chart.
Apparently,
that's a donut chart, I guess they call it. Maybe,
yeah.
Ooh, donuts.
Yeah. But
are there any donut vendors in here?
I don't know, but I could eat about 3
I could
dozen
crush
donuts
a donut
right now.
I could crush a donut.
So for my math credit, I was able to take a computer science course, which was like, this is how you, so remember, this is 1998?
98, 99, yeah.
99, 98, 99, that school year. And so it was
your first year at Ithaca.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like, this is the internet. This is email. When you click on the envelope icon, that opens your email. So that was my math credit, but I was so glad that that's all I had to do.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know if she can hear us because she told us to give her a shout out when it was time.
I'm sure she can't hear us.
Asia from Paradise Soul Food, if you're over there, you asked us to remind you at 7 o'clock.
And you're 3 minutes late.
2 according to this, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good. So, look, we're just flying off. We're shooting off the cuff, right?
Yeah. There's no kite. We're just
there is no kite.
Yeah. We don't even have the kite in sight.
Ooh, the Soup Chick Scranton mentioned us in their story again.
Nice. She's over there tweeting. She should be working. Just kidding. She's working hard. We can see her.
Yeah, Crystal is working hard over there.
Yeah. I honestly don't care who comes to talk as long as they bring me some food.
Oh, all right. So Dieter has raised the stakes. He is looking for...
Yeah, I would take a drink, but honestly, the food, I'd much rather have the food.
I wonder when they're going to kick us out of here. Do we have time to eat after we take this stuff all down?
I don't know, but we're getting food somewhere. That's for dang sure.
I think we'll be able to find it in here. I think there's enough options.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's another, we're gonna continue to plug ourselves because that's what we're here for, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
that's all I'm here for.
So next week when we do our live 100th as well, I think we are asking for donations at the door to get in, but that will include a hot buffet.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We got
Oh, here is Lance.
Yeah. And he didn't bring food.
All right.
Yeah. No, that's excellent, man.
Yeah, hop up on the blue mic there.
Yeah, you can use this one right here.
No headphones?
We got a monitor for you. Can you hear?
Okay.
Yeah, the headphones are only good when I'm playing my sounds anyway.
Right
here.
on.
So, Lance, I met a couple months ago now. My wife and I were over here with our son, and he running into your space back here, the place.
Live at the marketplace.
Yeah.
Don't call it a mall.
Exactly.
That's right, yeah.
We've already done our mall conversation.
Yeah.
And we got talking to you a little bit. You actually had this up in Lake Wampauback, which was so crazy because that's where we grew up.
Yeah.
Then you were in Clark Summit, which is where I live now, and now you're here.
Yeah.
And you gave me some of the reading materials to take home, and we looked over it, and we thought this was a natural fit for us to help raise money for when we do our episode here, because all of us are musicians, and having being able to do that starting in like 5th grade was amazing.
Yeah.
Right
And what you guys, so do you want to kind of speak what your mission statement is? Because I'm pretty sure I screw it up every time I say it.
Yeah, we give music lessons based on passion, not income. Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. That's something that I'm a saxophone player, and I've always tried to have students, and from my perspective, it's always like, well, I went to school for a long time. I have a lot of debt, so I want to charge a certain amount of money, and most people are like, there's no way I can pay that. It's not worth it. And so I either say, oh, forget it, and then maybe a year later I'll try again, or I say, okay, I'll take $15 for an hour or something like that because I want to do it and I want to help kids get better. But so I mean it's great that you're doing that, you know.
Even with the with the nonprofit, we were able to keep our rates down low. Mm-hmm. We're actually the lowest in the area.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah,
probably the best quality too.
And you've got a great performance venue in here now.
Yeah.
Which. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, we say the marketplace. This place has everything.
Yeah.
And there's going to be, I know Geisinger is coming in. They're going to be doing some renovations. They're taking over a large, basically right across from you guys.
Yeah, man, this place is going to explode.
Yeah.
It's a great destination place.
So you guys have not had your official grand opening yet, right?
Not for the place.
No, okay.
Yeah, we had brought in bands when we first opened. The school has been running for years. Yeah. But this is the first time we ventured into doing weekly calendar of events, but we didn't want people thinking it was a venue.
Yeah,
you know, we're on Ticketmaster. We have we just finished. We had a production company come in, which was our big expense and our biggest headache. So we got rid of them and we bought our own stuff. We're just finishing up the lights, all computer generated light system, all movables. Really nice PA system. Yeah, much better.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So when do you guys have a date yet locked down for your?
No, until we have our headlining like a national. But I mean, we have an event on the 15th.
Yep.
At Suter School. We're having a holiday gift raffle.
Okay.
Event with two of the local teenage bands, Brutality and I can't think of the name of the other band, but they're really good. I mean, and then the kids from the school are performing.
Awesome.
Doing a bunch of Christmas tunes, kind of like a Trans-Siberian Orchestra type of stuff.
Yeah. So,
oh wow, that's cool.
So on the 15th, come over here to the marketplace, check that out, and then afterwards head over to Stalter's Cafe and check out our 100th event.
Yeah.
And you get to see. Hopefully, I think you're going to try to make it over.
We're doing the day.
Yeah, you're during the day. Yeah, and then we're after you guys. So it's going to be a good day for making music for kids. And again, I think it's awesome that we have a space like this. I'm excited I'm excited to see it now with all the stuff put in. When we stopped in and saw you like 2 weeks ago, you were in the middle of doing it all.
Yeah.
And I know.
Yeah, the PA and the lighting. Yeah.
So is there
thanks to Matt Kester.
Is there anything else you want to mention about the place? Do you have? You got that coming up on the 15th. Is there anything else coming out here before the end of the month you're doing?
Yeah, right now, I mean, just going to be generating a calendar, and we're having raffles to raise money for our first major.
Okay.
And once we get the majors happening, we'll bring more of the local bands in. We're planning on getting a local weekly thing going on with a teen night.
Nice.
So it's all in the making.
How many? What is the capacity of that space? Like in terms of people?
600.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So that's a great mid-sized venue like that legally. Right, the ones hanging from the rafters, we won't count.
Yeah, great green room, and the parking is great too for tour buses and whatnot.
How about the load-in?
Load-in's great, man.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, from the back of the marketplace.
Okay.
You load in, take the elevator up, and then
not through the main elevator here. We have to wait 25 minutes for it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
that's what we did.
Well, that was one of the buying points for us was the load-in. It's a no-brainer. I mean, you could put 3 tour buses back there.
That's awesome.
Without the city complaining.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
awesome.
Well, guys, definitely if you get a chance, if you have kids and are interested in music and whatnot, come over, speak to Lance, speak to the people over there. Again, they're located here in the marketplace at Steamtown. They're down, I don't know, technically northeast, southwest, whichever end it is. You're down, was that the dental place down at that end?
Oh, yeah, we're across the street from B's backyard.
Currently across the hall from B's backyard, down at that end of the mall. Stop in, say hello to Lance, tell him you heard him on the Dinner with Schmucks podcast.
Yo.
Yeah.
And I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the name Dinner with Schmucks?
It kind of started. The podcast originally started with us sitting around our dinner table when we lived down in Florida. It was my wife and I, her brother, and her best friend, and some of the pieces changed over the year and a half we did it before we moved. But I don't know. She said, I think she just said it like one day.
Really?
And we're like, and then it was between that and Dinner with Schmoes, and we did a vote.
Is that a Pennsylvania thing? Schmuck?
Well, it's a Jewish thing, and
It's
none
a
of us
Jewish
are
thing.
Jewish, so that's the weird
Oh,
part.
not too shabby. Well, in New Jersey, it'd be dinner with pricks.
There you go. Yeah.
But again, yeah, we did a vote on the very first episode and said, all right, what are we going to call this? We went around the table, and Dinner with Schmucks beat Dinner with Schmoes, and that's where we
That's
are.
a great name.
So,
Okay. Thank
99
you.
episodes in. Thank you, Lance. And we'll see you next week. And we're going to start doing some things through Facebook here, starting to raise money here this week as we start to advertise more for the event.
Yeah, the fundraiser is going to be cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much,
Hanging with the
Lance.
Schmucks.
Hanging with
That's
the
right.
Schmucks.
Yeah.
Peace, guys.
All right,
See
man.
ya.
Have a good one. Later.
Bye, guys.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's like, imagine if we could have gotten booked there.
Just having a place to go as a teenager or even a young adult, you know,
Yeah, 'cause really,
before
I mean,
you're 21,
It was
you know.
like there was Tinks here.
Yeah.
And that place isn't there anymore.
No, and
that was the only. That's the only place I could think of that was like and there was an under 21 section.
Right, and I never set foot in there when I was under 21.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did before I was 21 either, and I think
And
I might
maybe
have been
only
there
once after 21.
I think I went and saw Nowhere Slow play one night.
Yeah.
And then I was there one night with some some people we went to high school with and saw like Newfound Glory and a whole bunch of
wow.
bands like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't really my cup of tea. I was just kind of there. I went along for the sake of going along, but
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So it's awesome. To have that place here. We've got Asia from Paradise Soul Food.
Yeah. Which I was already talking before about the samples you gave us a couple of weeks ago when we were here. I was blown away. Oh yeah.
The blue one.
The blue one. Yeah.
Okay, I like blue. That's my favorite color.
There you go.
Excellent. There you go.
So you run, or you and your sister run Paradise Soul Food here in the Scranton Public Market. You guys, I don't know what your booth number is. You're located across
D1 and D2.
D1 and D2 across
Yes.
from one of the two pizza places in here.
Yes, Romano. I think it's called Ruano's. Ruano's.
You look at it all day. You
Yeah.
can't remember the name?
I know, I'm terrible, right? Yes, Ruano's Pizza. He's been there for 20 years since the mall opened. Very good pizza.
Oh, no kidding.
So that was okay.
Yep, he was open
I'm looking
since
at
the
that.
mall
I'm like,
opened.
I
He's
feel
been
like
here
that
over 20
place.
years.
Wow.
First of all, I said, I'm like, well, that at least was a pizza place before.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
No,
we
that's
couldn't.
the same person.
So it's the same
Wow.
person. Okay.
His name
So
is
then
Hector. Very nice guy.
20 years ago, I probably had his pizza.
Yeah.
We were talking. We used to, come here when we were in high school. We come here all the time. Go see a movie across the street. Go down to the Ground Round, which is now Starbucks downstairs.
Yeah, the ground round. I remember that place.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad y'all enjoyed the food.
Yeah, the food was
So
Oh,
good.
it's
excellent.
amazing. Yeah.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed
Yeah.
that.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here for a year and a half now.
Okay.
A little bit, a year and a half.
And was it new at that point? Did you have a location somewhere else, a food
No,
truck?
when I
or?
first came here, I was mainly focusing on desserts. I was doing like cobblers and ice cream and sweet tea. And I was also doing like little mini cheesecakes. Like I do sweet potato cheesecake pie. I do pumpkin cheesecake pie, things like that. Now I'm more so doing food with desserts on the side occasionally. I'm trying to do desserts more, but sometimes the food is taking over everything. So I have desserts occasionally.
So was your dessert business something separate beforehand, or?
No, I always loved to cook originally. I've been baking though since I was like maybe 11.
Okay.
So about 20 something. I'm 35 now, so I've been cooking since I was like 11.
So sweet tea. So that means you were from the South somewhere.
Oh yeah, I used to. Well, I'm born in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
But when I was about 3 or so, we moved down south to Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay.
So I was in the country for a few years. Then we moved back to Philadelphia, and when I got like 17, I moved back down south to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Lived there for a little bit. Then I came back to Philly. A few years later, I came up here to Scranton. I've been here now like 12 years.
So what brought you to Scranton?
Oh, Lord. Whole long story. But shorten it up.
Yeah, the short version.
I wanted a better place to raise my kids. I had 2 little children at the time. So I came out here. I ain't know nobody out here. And I've been here 12 years. I like it. It's peaceful. It's quiet. I wanted something slower and a little quieter for my children.
Yeah.
So I came up here.
Do you still have family in Philly?
Huh?
Do you still have family in Philly?
Oh, yeah. Most of my family's in Philadelphia.
So you're so close anyway.
Yeah,
it's
I'm only
easy.
2 hours away.
Yeah, so
For
much
me, an
better
hour and
than
a half
being
away.
down in the
And
Carolinas.
down south
yeah,
was
exactly,
just too
yeah.
far. Yeah.
My wife and I lived down in Tampa, or the greater Tampa. Well, she lived there for half of our life. I lived there for the last 10 years before me coming back, and kind of the same thing. We wanted to get out of there. Our son is 3 years old. He's going to be starting school soon, and we just did not want anything to do with that school system down there.
Yeah. The school system up here is nice.
Yeah, and then we settled over in Clark Summit in the Abington district, and he's not in school yet, but we at least know when he's ready to. We're, it's so much better than what they pass off as school down there.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, but I like the peacefulness up here. I like that it's quiet and that it's with it being a smaller town, there's more opportunity.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Well, and plus, I mean, making soul food. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think there's a lot of that around here. So
yeah, it's not a whole lot of places to choose from. It's one other place that my friend has, and I like it. It's good. It's West Side Flavors. They're right over there in West Side Scranton.
Okay.
And they have good food. I like it. And they're open I think 6 days a week.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
and, they've been there for a few years.
Nice. As long as you're not coming in to the pizza game, you can carve out a nice niche for yourself in here.
But I think that's good for this area though too. Like it needs more variety. Everything. There's Old Forge Pizza, and
I lived in Old Forge for a few years. So
so you know
I know
all about
it.
Yeah, but
are you Old Forge or like traditional pizza more?
I'm a traditional pizza type of girl. My favorite pizza place since I've been out here actually is Calabria's over in Dunmore on Drinker Street.
Oh, I've not had that.
I've heard of that.
Gosh,
I haven't
amazing.
been there.
Little owner named Pete, something like that. He can cook himself some pizza.
We have right down basically the hill from us in Clark Summit. We have Rosario's.
Rosario's,
which was recommended by our neighbor. Like the second night we were there, none of our half our stuff still isn't unpacked. But we're like, where's a good place to get pizza? And he's like, Rosario's. Not even a hesitation. And he didn't give me another name. He said, just go to that place. It's bottom of the hill. And my wife, who grew up on Florida pizza, was floored.
Oh wow! I don't know what Florida pizza's like.
It's garbage. It's Domino's. Okay. It's Papa John's.
Yeah.
It's West Shore, a taste of Philly that tries to do Northern pizza, but it's just not good. And
that's something.
I took her to New York a couple years ago. We had pizza in Brooklyn, and that was her first taste, but she's hooked on it. So
that's good. Another nice place in Old Forge is Sicconi's. They're pretty good. They're on Oak Street in Old Forge.
I
like their pizza. It's really good. Kind of remind me of Philly too. But back to me and my chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just about to say, let's stop plugging other people and get back to you. Yeah,
my chicken, right?
Yeah.
But I like cooking more than I like baking, but I can do both. So, and when it comes to cakes and desserts and stuff, I'm not the pretty type baker. It tastes good. It's kind of like your grandma made it.
That's what
I 9 times out of 10, I'm using a butter knife to put the icing on and call it a day. I make the icing myself, with some butter, and I like sugar. I'm not with that Crisco and all that in my icing.
Oh yeah.
I don't do fondant, none of that stuff.
No, I hate fondant.
So I just have little southern desserts like pineapple upside down cake, peach cobbler. I do apple pie cobbler. I do blueberry cobbler. I do like I said, with the cheesecake pie, I do sweet potato cheesecake pie, pumpkin cheesecake pie on a ginger snap crust, and let's see, cakes. I do like 20 different cakes.
And do you sell all this stuff here?
Yeah, I make different things each week if I have time.
A weekly special?
No,
dessert special?
I just try to do. Today I had time and I made this. So, today I was trying to make a carrot cake, but I didn't get to grade the carrots yet because I had so many customers, but. If I get to it, maybe tomorrow I'll have carrot cake. I'll make the cheese, cream cheese icing. My grandmother taught me how to make that. I used to always be in the kitchen trying to steal it.
Oh, yeah.
When I figured out that she made it, and I'm like, well, she got hands like me. That mean I can make it too?
Yeah.
Then I won't have to steal it and run. Might get popped.
Cream cheese icing is probably my favorite icing.
Oh,
cream
yeah.
Cheese icing. But if you get it from the store, it will turn you off totally. The store icing, the cream cheese icing is like...
I don't think I've actually ever had homemade cream cheese icing.
What?
Oh. Yeah, I think I've only, honestly, it's been, the
and
Pillsbury or whatever.
Icing?
Yeah, I know. So I'm guessing yours is going to be.
He doesn't even know.
Even if I just had to make you your own little bowl, I'm going to have to make you some cream cheese icing because that is a really sad thing that you never had real cream cheese icing.
And you know what? I've never actually tried to, I never take the time to try to make that. I just always quickly make, buttercream or something like that.
The difference is I cannot even explain it to you. You will be like, are you serious? You'll be upset with the packages once you get the real deal because it's not even comparable. It's like literally, I can't even explain it. The difference in taste. But I like cooking. I love it. I've been, like I said, cooking since I was like 11. I like up here in Scranton how so many different people they want to come and try things and they're open to new things and they're tired of just plain old pizza. I like that. That works out for me good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for the mall like that. I've been here. I got to meet so many wonderful people. It's a really, really good experience being here at the mall. I learned a lot. I am leaving though. I will be leaving next month.
Okay.
I got a little store though. I just need a bigger hood system. Thank you, because people are liking the chicken. I'm doing like 80 pounds a week.
Wow.
But I have a small hood here, so I found a place that has a full size hood, and I can get a full size fryer. So I'll be going to downtown Scranton come January, February.
About, do you know exactly where?
The address is 350 Adams Avenue. That's my new place. 350 Adams Avenue. Hope to see y'all. Right now, it's a Lola macaroon place there now.
Okay.
But she'll be leaving. She's going to Philly. So
there you go.
Something.
Well, we can come over and do a podcast from your place.
Yes. Oh, you sure can. I would love that. The college kids are right there on Mulberry Street, so I'm right off of Mulberry.
Okay.
I'll be across from the Bog and the Thai restaurant.
Okay.
That's right where my place is. That's right
that's
there,
across
the street. So
awesome. Yeah, right next. You got a record store right there too.
I got a record store. Your Embassy Vinyl. I'll be right next door to them.
Yeah, I know the Bog well. I've spent many a parade day at the Bog.
I've never been there. I hear so much about it, but I've never been there.
It's a fun place.
So you're moving in like January or whatever?
Yeah, January, February.
So just, I don't know if you're going to plan on opening up in the afternoons, but on parade day, open up at like 7 a.m.
Okay.
Because there are people at the Bog at 7 a.m.
What?
And they're they're drinking, and they're going to want food, and it's so much easier to go across the street than wandering through Scranton trying to find something.
I'm glad to know that. I got to remember that. And parade day is around when?
Around March, around St. Patty's Day. I don't know when it is for next year, but I've done a couple of those. I've played at the Bog for a couple of them, and it's to me it's almost unlike anything I've ever seen. It's such a
mess,
huge deal, and it can be a mess. I mean, it's been years since I didn't get to come out for parade day last year, but the last couple before I moved away, I mean, it was just insane. Parking's insane. Like the one year I had to park all the way up by the hospital to come down to the Bog. I had to play at like 9 a.m.
What you play, instrument?
Yeah, drums.
Okay.
But luckily I only had to bring my stick bag with me because they had a set up, and they had bands all day just kind of cycling through. And one time in the middle of our set we had to stop because this group of bagpipers came in and just started performing.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's
it was the bagpiper playing down on Penn Avenue a few years ago. I used to be a little bus driver up here for the nursing home. And I take people to dialysis and things like that. But they had a bagpiper outside, so I tried to do that
the Irish jig.
The Irish jig dances. Really? Oh, you should have saw me outside dancing with the bagpiper. It was hilarious. I wonder if my partner, I had an aide that would ride with me and help transport the patients and stuff. And I think she was videoing me, but I was out there dancing for I don't know how long, trying to whatever that kicking dance is. It was so funny. Had a good time. Awesome. I think Irish people know how to get down. I like them.
Yeah,
they crack me up.
And this place is loaded with them.
Yeah, my grandma's half Irish, so it works out. Oh, nice. But I'm so glad I got to meet y'all. I appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for coming over.
I don't know if you said this already. When are you guys open every day? Do you have certain
here? Yeah. Here I'm here at the mall Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
2 to 8 p.m. Okay. And I'm gonna be here for maybe another week or two before I start to transition into the new store.
Okay.
Okay. I really, like I said, I'm just so grateful to be here at the mall. I've learned so much. It's such a nice place to be. And what John is doing with the place is nice.
It did what I kind of envisioned what it's supposed to do, is to kind of start a business, give you a place to start out small, to build up a client base, and be able to move in and occupy one of the many vacant places. I mean, we got to get these buildings filled up around here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to bring more business to the town.
And like what they did with, we had Dottie on from Vikki's earlier, and they went through the process, that process of elimination to actually win that space and give her seed money, give her a place, and if that takes off, then they can come up out of here and move into a place of their own.
That would be so awesome. The nuts that she makes is so good.
They're so good.
Last week I actually made a Sakatumi pistachio pound cake with her cinnamon pecans.
There you go.
And it was delicious.
I'm so hungry.
Oh, it was so good.
We told her she needed to work with the cookie guy on the other side of her, and she said, so it's awesome to see you guys all kind of.
Yeah, I like to collab with people if I can. Yeah. Sometime in my collard greens I put, she has a Sweet Heat, the Household 6 right here. She makes like salsas, and she makes different things like what do you call it? I'm trying to say like a dressing, different things like that. But I use her sweet heat hot sauce, and sometimes I put that in my collard greens. It's so good. Oh my!
I do like the sweet heat at Popeyes.
Sweet heat chili sauce, something like that. It's called that she makes, and I love everything she makes though. She cooks good.
Would you say like do you have a signature dish or like would it be the chicken or?
Yeah, it would be the chicken for sure.
Yeah.
Fried chicken. I love my fried
it's
chicken.
amazing.
I won a contest up here in Scranton. I was in the paper for my fried green tomatoes though. I like doing fried green tomatoes. I haven't got a chance to do them here. I didn't grow them this year. Like I normally used to grow tomatoes and stuff, but I haven't planted this year. I need to get back into planting, and then I'll have more of a selection because it's hard to find green tomatoes out here.
Yeah.
I even tried to go online and I couldn't find them.
Yeah,
it's like ridiculous. So
I never thought about looking online for produce.
Yeah, I went to the farmers market and stuff, tried to meet with the farmers, and they kept telling me they didn't really have a lot.
Huh.
Yeah, I went to a few farmers markets.
I mean, I'm not personally a fan of them, but my parents were, and they seem to always have. I think my grandfather grew them in Jersey, and that's why we always seem to have them.
Yeah, when you're growing them, then you're good. Yeah. That's
well, let's. We want to do a couple of rapid fire questions with you. We're trying this today with all of our guests. So this time, I'm going to let Dieter ask the two of them.
Do you want to do a rapid fire question?
Oh, really? Okay.
One question.
All right, cool.
Answer.
All right.
Let's go.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
Oh gosh, this is.
These are random, by the way. They're not
celebrity crush. You mean like when I was a kid or as an adult?
Your first. One, so whenever it was.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Gosh, y'all know I'm old. I just told you I'm 35 now.
Then who's your current celebrity crush?
Oh wow, Idris Elba.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, there we go.
Who starred in The Office for a brief amount of time?
Huh?
He was in The Office for a brief amount of time.
Idris Elba?
Yeah, he played Charles Minor. Yeah, he was in season 6, I think it was.
Now I have a reason to watch that show.
Yeah,
okay.
I know they had it on in the bar when we walked in. Yeah, he was he played Charles Minor. He came in and was the de facto manager of the Scranton branch for a brief amount of time while Michael started his own company.
Oh, never knew that.
Yeah.
Never even knew that at all.
And then I heard he was going to play James Bond, and then they did another one.
Yeah, he was. I heard about that.
I know. I was excited about that. Yeah.
I
hopefully it's still going to come down. Down
anytime I see him, I just think of him as Charles Minor now. So from The Office.
Well, that's because you're obsessed with The Office.
Yeah.
I never watched the show. Maybe one time.
I only see it when I'm hanging out with him. So yeah.
I see.
Do you Instagram your food?
Yes, I do Instagram my food. Not as much as I should. I need to get better with that.
I guess that's a silly question to ask somebody who has a food place. Of course you.
Yeah, no, but I forget the Instagram a lot, but I need to do that more. Like I did seafood mac. I was trying to do that again this weekend. I was going to do it in like I have like these cones, a cone maker shaped like a fish. So I was doing seafood mac inside of a cone.
Oh wow!
But I ain't even get to do it, and I ain't get to post it.
I love homemade mac and cheese. I do like making that. I'm gonna make that for one of our podcast dinners one night here in the spring.
That'd be good.
Did it a few
Invite
times.
me, I'll come.
You do that. I'm gonna go to her restaurant and have hers.
She said she'll come over.
I'll come.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we'll cook for you.
And talk I love that. I'll bring dessert. Y'all do the food. Okay.
All right.
We're gonna take you up on that.
Yeah, I'm for sure. Don't forget about me.
Never.
All right.
What's the other question?
Yeah, one more question.
One more question. All right. Let's see. Would you rather ask permission or beg forgiveness?
I'm a fool. I'm always asking permission first because I hate when people. I'm the type of person. I get excited about things and I like to go. I hate when people rain on my parade and all that. So I try to come first so that when I go, I can just go all the way. Yeah. I'm either an all or nothing type of girl. Right. So I need to.
But you're all or nothing asking first.
Yeah,
not all or nothing.
No, I'm saying all or nothing. I'm asking first because I don't feel like you coming to try and shut me down or none of that other drama because I'm going to get upset. Yeah. So if I come to you first, then I know how I got to go about things. And I can go without nothing in my way. And I don't like a bunch of roadblocks and all that type of crap. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Asia, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you.
And
thanks so much.
Thank y'all so much.
We might be swinging back over there in a little bit.
No problem. I got some chicken. I got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken. Chicken. You name it. Remember that movie?
So for the next couple weeks, stop by the marketplace here and check out Paradise Soul Food, and then. Starting next year in downtown Scranton, across the street from
Adams
the Bog.
Avenue, right across from the Bog.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Downtown.
Thank you again very much.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah. All this talk about food, man. I am so hungry.
And the soup chick took off. Oh wait, no, I see her over there.
Oh yeah, she might be
closing up, but maybe Crystal will want to stop by and plug the soup chick here before she gets out of here for the night. I think Asia's going over to tell her to do this.
That'd be cool. Thanks,
it is wow, it is 7:30. I mean, originally like we were going to do like 5 to 7, the 5:30, 7:30. We didn't start till like 6, so I feel like we should go here a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, I mean we can keep talking smack. I'm down for that. I really wish I could eat something.
Soon enough, man. Soon enough. The whole thing kind of shuts down at 8 o'clock, so we're not going to really be.
No, I know.
Doing much more after that.
I know that.
And then we'll get some food.
Well, yeah. All right.
So, as we, I'm gonna interview you for a second. Not as much of the getting to know you section of Dieter. I'm gonna ask you about PodQuest. I'm gonna ask you about the podcast.
Oh, okay.
So you've been doing it since I want to say like May or something. The first one you did was that one with Matt.
Yeah.
Which the photo shows up on here, the 4 of us standing there, and then
cool.
I think you've been in every day.
I don't think I've missed one since.
Ones that are here, yeah. Like
that's what I mean.
You missed the one in Florida and whatnot. So,
well, and the one you drove down to Philly to interview.
Oh yeah, we did the one with Mike Alabach, which is another one that's doing really well. And Mike's got all kinds of specials going on right now, so make sure you check out Alabach Photography.
Nice.
Did you listen to that one yet?
I haven't. I've been super busy. Yeah, I haven't had a chance.
And the Clips episode too is doing really well. But so you've been on. So we're gonna say I want to say that was episode 70 something.
Yeah.
So you've been here for roughly 25-ish episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You've really never done this before. You never did.
No.
You never did radio in college or anything, right? Outside of a couple of like summers, we'd run down to the 90.3 FM in Stroudsburg and jump on the radio for 2 hours on a random Tuesday afternoon.
Right. Yeah, and I don't.
And we had like 2 people listening to us.
Yeah. No, that first one, I was nervous because I knew we were going to do it that night, and I was thinking about it the whole time, like when we were,
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, God, because, like the typical thing, like, oh, I hate the sound of my voice. And with headphones on, like, you can hear your own voice more so than you normally would without headphones. And, but, dude, as soon as we started doing it, like, you and Yajaira were already so comfortable that it just felt like hanging out and talking to friends.
And that's what I like the best about this. I mean, from basically, God, like, middle of September, October on, we had like every week we had guests in until like the last one we I think did before we did that one down in either Florida or the one we went down to Philly for.
Mm-hmm.
I like just bringing friends in, bringing people we don't know in. Like we're going to take her up on that offer.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And come over to the dinner with Schmucks podcast studio in Clark Summit. And if you want to do a podcast, you can speak to us about the Moon Pigeon Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Try to figure something out for you guys.
Nice. You're getting really good at saying that now.
I have to. It's on the sign.
Oh yeah, right.
The new banner is unveiled for the first time here tonight too.
Yeah. No, man. Yeah, and I really I really thank you and Yajaira. I'm grateful because also when I started doing that, like I had just moved back to the area. Like I was in a bad mental state and emotional state for a lot of reasons, which I've probably complained about on the podcast several times, so it's not news to anybody. But dude, it really, and so like I didn't have any friends left around here that so you guys
it's kind of the same thing with me.
Yeah, but I mean you kind of saved me in a way, because I think we
something. Saved each other.
Right, yeah. Aw. We'll hug later.
You nasty.
No, but it gave me something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Even at that time, I was seriously like, I'm going to put the saxophone down and maybe just like not be a musician.
Because we were going to have you actually come do the artist interview series, you and Vince, and then like the day you're supposed to, for whatever reason, one of you guys weren't around. I think Vince wasn't going to be. He had to go back to New York a day early or something. Yeah. And then like I'm like, let's reschedule. And you're like, I don't know if I want to play anymore. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. No, I was, I was not happy with anything in my life, and it really gave me something to get up for. I was like, I get to drive not too far down the road, hang out with one of the best friends I've ever had, and do something really fun and cool.
And that first day too, we actually earlier that day we jammed with Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Like so it was very everything kind of very familiar. We were back, and we were getting people to sign our posters too that came up.
Oh, that's right.
Interview. We can go around and catch some people here.
We can get that.
So, hey.
Oh, nice.
All right, we're gonna take
Amber's
a quick pause here to let you want to grab the blue mic.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you what, because we're gonna forget before you even get on, you want to sign the posters?
Oh yeah.
Because we have forgotten to ask everyone that's been on.
Yeah, you can sign them both.
Yeah. Our plan was to leave one here with Jen
Jess.
and company.
Oh,
Jen and Jess, whoever sees us before we get out of here.
Yeah.
But I agree. Yeah, it's just fun sitting down and just you don't even notice the mic. I mean, even this, we were both kind of talking about it for the last 2 weeks. We're like, I haven't done anything in front of people in a while, and it's. I mean, not that.
I know.
We had an audience for a little bit.
We did, yeah.
So
all right,
now,
so Amber
from the Electric City Art Studio.
Yeah. No, it's perfect.
No, I will turn it up because it was loud from. All right. And you can, if you want to bring the mic up a little bit, I'll make it easier. Yeah. Yeah, just grab it right. Yeah.
Wait, what do I do? Oh, okay.
There you go.
Wow.
So, is the Electric City Art Studio your passion project, something of yours, or do you work for somebody else?
Well, I work full time in the Hazleton School District. I'm an art teacher.
Oh, nice.
So this is kind of like a side gig. I just started it. I'm going on 8 or 9 months now. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I know my wife was here, I think back in the spring, probably right after you guys started with our son, and did a couple of art projects. I don't remember exactly which ones at this point, but it is
awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just another piece of the diversity of what this marketplace and this public market right in here.
Yeah, for sure.
In the old food court offers.
That's how I always tell people. I'm in the food court.
Yeah. So did you grow up in the area?
I grew up in the Hazleton area, but I've been living in Scranton for a little over 10 years now.
So did you come here when it used to be the Steamtown Mall, back in the day? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So do you remember
the hot spot?
Do you remember what space we're in right now? Because I can't remember what was here.
This was.
We thought maybe the Wendy's.
Part of the food court.
Well, yeah, but what exactly?
What? Oh gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, he wants
I
specifics,
remember
apparently.
the big play place being over there, and the same cheesesteak guy is still over there.
Oh, look, so all right, so we have two vendors still in here. That's neat.
I mean, I think the cheesesteak guy's still there.
Oh, cheesesteaks! I didn't know there were cheesesteaks too. I've been staring at this Lobster Mac sign here the whole time.
Oh, it's so good. His nachos are to die for.
We got stuff dropped off to us about menus. It's but tell us a little bit about the art studio.
So on First Fridays, I do free First Fridays from 6 to 8. I have on display tonight my private art lesson students, their artwork, and then I do community canvases for free for children and adults. Saturdays I do open studio from 12 to 3. Different canvases and different wooden paintables and things for all ages again. And then Sundays is for registration only for the private art lessons.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you really get a lot of, you get all age ranges.
Yes. Yeah, I'll never turn down an adult.
Yeah.
And you can bring your drink over, too.
Yeah,
From the wine cellar. It's pretty awesome.
We saw someone carrying drinks, and we were like, oh, we didn't even know we could do that.
Yeah, whole family came over. I'm like, guys, go grab a drink if you're hanging out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's like would you ever do, or have you ever done one of those paint and sip things?
I don't. I consider myself more of a process art studio, where we're not all into what the end product is, but more of the process of making it.
Oh,
I think it involves just more creativity, and it builds kids' self-esteem a little bit more, that they're not so worried about what it's going to look like, but they had fun doing it.
Well, I mean, the sip and paint wouldn't really be for kids anyway.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I do get more children in the studio.
Yeah.
But even the adults that come in, a lot of them, they don't just have time to sit down and paint. Most of us don't. Yeah. So they like to come in, just splatter some paint on a canvas and call it a day. And,
I will say it's amazing. Cool. I've done one of them, and it's amazing. You can go in there and then actually come out with a pretty decent product in the end.
Right. I kind of see it as, I teach art full time, grades 3 through 6. So all day long, I'm telling them step by step what to do, because that's what you do as a public school teacher.
Yep.
So coming to my studio is kind of a little bit more freedom to not stay inside of the lines.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. What's your favorite medium to work with?
I don't really have a favorite. I'm really into watercolors right now, but that could change in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always switching things up.
Is there one you stick? Do you stick with watercolors here or acrylics?
When I'm here, I'm using a lot of the acrylics because with the community canvases, we start them on first Fridays and we recycle the paint throughout the month. So whatever paint is left over gets smeared all over a random canvas. So whatever's left over from a busy Saturday, I kind of just get to add it on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like that would be kind of therapeutic in a way, just to like. It's another way to just get everything out. Like after a week, like, let me get all this out, and then it's there, you know. Yeah. And you can either love it or hate it or take it home or
pretty much
come back and do it again next week. You know.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's it.
Yeah. Nice.
I remember we used to do some fun stuff in art class back in the day. I mean, like.
Really, I don't really remember.
Like, I remember a few things. I mean, with like Mr. Tree and Mr. Rishko, who still lives in this area. He's always posting things on Facebook and a lot of office stuff too, like pictures when he met like all the cast when they were here years ago.
Facebook friends with our middle school art teachers?
Yeah, I am.
All right. I didn't know
He must have been a cool teacher.
He was. He actually, and you know what? Actually, the first time I ever played golf, going back to a conversation 45 minutes, an hour ago, the first time I took like golf and like intramurals with him, like in middle school, we'd hit balls up the hill.
Yeah.
But I remember like in like building like robots, we'd bring in a bunch of stuff and like, you know, so do you do things like that, or is it?
Yeah, I actually have one of my kids that I do private lessons with now. I got him into building things with cardboard and he like loves it. For the past 4 months, we've just been doing different things with cardboard. He did like construction vehicles and dump trucks and stuff this past month.
That's awesome.
He did a haunted house and it's all out of cardboard. So the mom loves me that she has to find somewhere to display this in her house.
Yeah.
However, he loves doing it. So
that's great. I mean, that's what matters, you know.
Yeah.
That they find something they connect with. I was a high school band director for a few years,
cool.
so I kind of feel the same way. I went from 5 days a week, like explaining, this is an eighth note, this is a quarter note, this is a B as opposed to a B flat or something like that. So then, like, when I get together with my friends and play, I'm a saxophone player, it's kind of the same kind of thing. Like, I get to just go outside the lines and let all that go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What do you have a piece of art or a project you've worked on that you're most proud of, or something that's gotten notoriety, whether it's something published or?
I actually did 2 murals inside of the marketplace. The one is inside of the Center City Wine Cellar, which I'm really proud of. It came out really awesome. And then I also won the mural contest that they had here. I think it was a little over a year ago. But that mural is also on the 2nd floor. So
which one?
It's called Colors of the Sea.
Okay.
It's in front of the old Disney store, I believe.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so, and I did a couple other small ones inside of the booths and downstairs in Tiffany Griffith's space. She's like a psychologist. So yeah, I kind of grasped onto doing larger pieces
that's
like
awesome.
that. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
So we're going to do a couple of rapid fire questions with you, just 3 of them.
Oh,
just
okay.
off the top of your head. I guess it's my turn to ask 2 of them.
Sure.
So favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Okay, that was easy.
All right. So, that being the case, do you think reindeer are real?
Absolutely. Gosh, I still put glitter in my yard to bring them to my house.
Good, yeah, that's good. I listened for the hoof.
The little pitter patters on the
roof. Yeah.
All right, and we just asked this one to Asia, and she actually did not have, she couldn't remember, but we'll ask you, what was your first celebrity crush?
My first or my current?
Well, let's try your first.
Yeah.
Jeez, Justin Timberlake?
Oh.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah.
That's still kind
fair.
Of relevant.
Is that your current one too, or?
Yeah.
No, let's see. Keanu Reeves.
All right.
Yeah.
I could respect that. Yeah.
Celebrities. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Otherwise, my boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, of course.
He's a celebrity too, in my book.
Didn't we see Speed here? We saw. I feel like we might.
Probably. I don't know, dude. That.
Or we saw another
so
movie
ago.
that we refer to as Speed on something else. There was a whole bunch,
I remember that happening, but I have no idea what the context was.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was like 25 years ago.
That's true.
That's bizarre.
So, Amber, thank you.
You're welcome.
For stopping
Thanks
by.
for having me.
No problem.
You guys are awesome.
And do you have a website?
I do.
Okay.
electricityartstudio.com, and it's all linked together with my social media on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. And I think it's looking at your logo, looking at our logo.
Yeah.
And that I did right after we moved back here. I'm like, I need to do something that ties into where we're going.
Yeah.
But like, it's so funny how many people
around so often.
How many people use the?
I know.
Yeah, the Electric City logo.
Know.
And
it just works.
I think if you could see on our,
no, it's great.
It's easy and it's simple, and people remember it.
On our poster for the 100th, which I think now is down on the floor there, I actually used the building with the thing and dropped our 100th logo in the place of the Electric City sign on it. So
Awesome.
we've got headbands coming next week too for the event.
That's cool.
So if you're not doing anything, I know it's a school night, but we're going to be over at Stalter's Cafe next Sunday night at 7:30 for our 100th episode.
Sounds good.
So he's over on Providence Road, right next to the Glider Diner.
Okay, very nice.
So
yeah.
Amber,
right.
once again, thank you. That's the Electric City Art Studio here in the Scranton Public Market at the marketplace at Steamtown, right?
Where are we? What are we doing?
We're at the old Steamtown Mall.
Old Steamtown Mall.
That's what it is.
In the old food court.
You got it.
Kind of where Wendy's used to be. Yeah. Thanks, Amber.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye. You too.
And I don't know, man. I think with that. Well, let me. All right. So just kind of finishing up what we were talking about before. So, what has been your? So let me ask you, what has been your favorite part of this so far in the 25 or so episodes that you've done?
I mean, I don't know if this is going to sound stupid. Honestly, my favorite part has been laughing so hard at some, like whether it's ridiculous stuff that you and I say or old memories that Yajaira has no idea what we're talking about and we think it's hilarious, or it's the Schmuck files. I don't know, but I have laughed so hard so many times on this podcast, and then I go back and listen to them.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, do you go back and listen to them?
And I go through phases. Like I'll have free time and I'll hit a bunch of them, and then I might go a week or two and be slammed and not really listen to anything. But then I go back and listen to them, and I'm either driving in the car or walking around my house with the headphones on, and I'm laughing my ass off. And I'm just like, man, that's priceless.
And that kind of goes back, like the same thing. I'll go back and listen to like old band concerts and gigs we did and rehearsals. I mean, just stupid stuff. I'll go back and listen to old episodes. Like, I went through a bunch of them, 25 of them to be exact.
Right.
In the last couple of weeks, putting together this Clips episode we just released this current week. Have you gone back and listened to many or any before your time?
I've listened to not any entire ones. I've listened to bits and pieces, and not because of lack of interest or because I don't find them funny. It's been more of a time thing. I just haven't had the time, because then when I start in on one that I've been on, it's reliving such a good memory that I don't want it to end. And so I don't quite get that same feeling.
Yeah, because you weren't there.
Right.
I get it.
But they're still hilarious. And it's also, we fell out of touch for some years. Yeah. And so it's also cool, to go back and listen to those. And I'm like, man, I kind of get a window into what I missed out on,
Yeah.
And that's kind of priceless to me too, because I'm like, man.
Yeah, a lot changed in 10 years.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of unbelievable how much changed, and we both went through a lot of stuff.
We both went through marriages and divorces.
Yeah, and it's just
best men at each other's first weddings.
Yep.
And a lot there. I mean, to my, kind of mimicking what you say, I've honestly enjoyed, I enjoy just sitting around and shooting the shit.
Yeah,
and there's nobody here listening anymore, so I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
I like going back. I like going back and listening to the old ones, because to me it's nice to hear Lisa's voice and Special K's voice and Josh's voice. And it was such a good feeling when we were down there, 2 months ago or whatever, and kind of all being back together. And I think we brought this up when we were there. It just felt right, kind of being grouped back together. And then Lisa flipping out on Special K and I because we blew the top off of her sauce to go on the shrimp and whatnot, and like, you know, that's the kind of that stuff would happen, and but people ask why you do it. You know, we're not exactly making money with this. We hope to be. If you're listening and you want to sponsor us, anyone in here.
That's right.
You know, even the smallest sponsor. Speaking of, we got to plug our sponsor. We do have one sponsor, so we got to plug them before we get off the.
All right.
We wrap this up, but.
Yeah.
And now I forgot what I was saying.
Well, just, you know, when you were back down there in Florida.
Oh yeah, it just felt like there was just something there, and it's nice. It's kind of the same feeling I get when we get together, you know, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever night it is. We come over, we do the dinner thing, and then we go downstairs and we podcast for 2 hours and have fun and relive old memories. And that's what's nice, because down there I didn't have any old memories to relive.
Right.
Like, I would relive memories and people are like, where did you grow up?
I know. Well, and it was the same for me. Like, you know, I lived in Vegas for a few years, and then I was in New York City for 11 years. And, you know, my ex was from another country. So, dude, I couldn't even relive stuff that just, like, an American would have grown up with.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole different thing, you know? And so I totally get what you're saying. Like, you know.
Yeah, it was fun, like, a couple times, you know, over those episodes. Like, Matt was down when Matt came down for, you know, our wedding, and we did a podcast with him. Or when I came up here, like, right after we started the podcast, we brought Raymond up for the first time, and I set out and did a podcast with Matt and my brother on our porch, my mom's porch, and it was like, that was like instantly like just a suck back in time, and it's right there, and it's kind of the same thing, like you and me and Mark get together.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun, and I hope to continue this as long as I can.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm at the point where I don't really need to put much more money into it, so that's good.
No, I mean, you've got some good stuff. But and almost like to bring it full circle, like, you know, in the beginning I was kind of saying like you're an archivist, and I almost feel like that's kind of what you're doing now. Like one of the things I realized over the past 10 years is how important, like, you know, I didn't speak to my entire family for 3 years, and after that I feel like family is the most important thing, I think, in our lives.
Yeah.
You know, and friends and loved ones, you know, are right up there with that. So not only do we get to experience that on a weekly basis, if not more, but you're also documenting it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not the old Lester Young recording from, you know, the 30s or 40s that's all noisy and scratchy and low fidelity. This is going to be around until the apocalypse, when we have no more computers and electricity, you know. But that's another podcast.
That was, yeah, exactly. And on that note, and I don't want to bring this on a downer, but, you know, one of my what really kind of got me back into doing all of this was I did radio all through college. I loved the hell out of it, and then after college, there was just I for a year or two, I still continued to do radio at ESU.
Yeah.
Doing sports games and whatnot. Did a sports show, got to call football games. So, but after that, it kind of just stopped. And honestly, I did bring up the idea of a podcast with my ex-wife way back in the day, and she had zero interest. I had no equipment to do it. It would have been absolute garbage anyway.
Yeah.
And it was right when it was starting to get popular. I was starting to listen to Jay Moore's podcast. I'm like, this sounds fun.
Yeah.
And just there was nothing to do. So it's like and I'm like, I'm not even going to try. She's like, I want to write a blog. I'm like, do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that lasted like a week. She did it, and then she gave up. So whatever.
Yeah.
But I got really into listening to Opie and Anthony, and I kind of really connected with Opie and his story, and you know, he grew up. He went to a small school in upstate New York. He's been doing radio his entire life. But just, I don't know, his sense of humor and everything. And then, like, in the last couple of years, he got let go from SiriusXM, and he started his own podcast. And when he started his own podcast, I got very interested, and I listened to a lot. And another Beatles song. And anyway, so for the first year of his podcast, he had a co-host, Carl Ruiz, and we talked about him here a couple months ago. And he unexpectedly passed away back in like October, early November. Come to find out, he actually agreed to do Sean's show too.
No kidding.
So I'm like, oh man, if we got him to do him, then I could have reached out to him and said, because the way he got him was saying, hey, you did so and so's podcast. He's been on my podcast.
Oh yeah.
Chef. He's like, you want to do it? And he screenshot it and sent it to me. He said, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. And I'm like, you could have done that. Then I could have been like, look, you did Sean's podcast. Sean did our podcast.
Yeah.
You've got to do ours now.
Yeah.
But so he unexpectedly passed away, and a couple weeks went by, and Opie started doing a lot of he started playing his episodes back, and somebody said to him, he said, look, or maybe he thought of this himself, one way or the other, and again, I promise to wrap this up and getting back to what you were just saying about kind of the archiving. He's like, he basically, that first year of his podcast was the story of Carl's last year on Earth.
Yeah.
And everything, because he went through a divorce, lost his restaurant, gave up pretty much everything outside of what he physically buried in the ground so they couldn't find.
Wow.
The first episode was from a cabin somewhere in the woods in New Jersey.
No kidding.
And it really became the kind of the documentation of his whole life, but specifically the last year of his life.
Yeah.
And to that point, you said it's the archivist in me, I guess. Mm-hmm. But it's been fun, and I can't wait to do next week's episode. I think it's going to be so much fun.
Me too. Yeah, I'm psyched. This is the last thing I'll say, and then we can wrap after we plug the sponsor. But and I hear this on Joe Rogan's podcast. Although I haven't watched a Joe Rogan podcast in a while. But
neither have I.
Yeah, one of the things he always talks about, which really resonates with me, is that it's these long form conversation formats that the podcast allows you to have.
And that was what I always liked about the Opie and Anthony show and Opie's shows afterwards. It's that was it. It wasn't 8.5 KRC.
Mm-hmm. It's not sound bites.
Yeah, it went in there, and you know what it was? It was Opie and Anthony and Jimmy sitting around with their comedian friends.
Yeah.
And for 4 or 5 hours in the morning when they were doing XM, they were on forever, just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
And
that's
comedy gold comes out of it.
Exactly. And that's also how people really bond and connect, and it kind of gives you an excuse to be able to, it gives you a reason to do it other than sitting at a bar and spending money and getting tanked.
Yeah.
Which is also a lot of fun, but it's a different kind of communication, and I think you can get a little deeper, without being like, oh, the aliens, man, let me just take another drink.
Yeah.
That's what happens to me, But it's invaluable, especially these days. Because our society is just upside down.
Yeah.
I think stuff like this, and whether you're interviewing, someone who's running for president, or you're just talking like we are, shooting the shit, I think it's really, really valuable and important.
So with that, guys, we're going to wrap episode 99 here live from the...
now I have to rely on myself to go to me.
I did not mean to hit that.
Yeah.
I'm going to edit this out. All right, that's going to be a wrap for us for episode 99 here from the marketplace at Steamtown, the Scranton Public Market. We want to thank a couple of our guests that stopped on, a couple of the vendors here. Dottie from Vikki's Nuthouse. And we had Cloud from the Corvid Alternative Art Store.
Yeah,
Asia from Paradise Seafood. Did you want to read some?
Oh yeah, I was just going to trade off with you. Yeah. We had Asia from Paradise Seafood.
Soul Food. Damn it! I always say seafood.
Oh, did I say seafood
you said
too?
It too.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Hashtag edit all of this. Yeah, and then we.
It's your handwriting.
It is. It's terrible. Well, for Cloud, I almost said Claude because it looks like I wrote Claude. No, and then we finished up with Amber from Electric City Art Studios. Yeah, it was enlightening and really refreshing to hear from the local vendors.
Yeah, and again, next week, episode 100 live from Stalter's Cafe on Providence Road here in the Electric City. We're going from 7:30 to, I don't know, maybe 10:30 or so.
7:30 to question mark.
Question mark, yeah. Special musical guest, Jamie McClanahan. God, I keep calling him McCallahan, too. He's going to kill me. Jamie McClanahan from the Victory Drive is going to be playing some music for us. He's going to stop on. You guys remember him from, most recently, he was on the Rory DeLasno.
Rory DeLasno.
I'm all over the place. Rory DeLasno episode of our artist interview series. He did his own. He also co-hosted with me when we did the Jackie June and Corey Hiltman one. And it's Corey's birthday today.
Happy
Not that he's
birthday,
going to hear
Corey.
this, but happy birthday, Corey. And that 100th episode is actually going to come out on Monday, December 23rd, which is Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us.
And we are doing a Festivus celebration next week as the theme. Again, we want to thank Lance from Making Music Matter for Kids, and also Household Creations, now selling some custom or artisan hot dogs. I forgot how she labeled those. Gourmet hot dogs.
Gourmet hot dogs.
I guess artisan sounds good too, right?
Yeah, artisan works. Yeah, and our sponsor.
So again, we want to thank Benny Bands, and we're going to have some limited edition bands next week at our event. But BennyBands.com, they are great for working out, for just wearing on any occasion. They have cooling bands, they have sweatbands, gaiters, all kinds of things. Check out BennyBands.com for all of that. And if you're in the area and you come by the event next week, you could pick up one. We're also going to have a couple in our raffles we're going to be raffling off. I want to thank Jamie and Steve Fauble, another one of our artist interview guests, are going to be donating some CDs for us to give away.
Woohoo.
So it should be a good time. If you're around, come check us out. Please listen to the episode. And dinnerwithschmucks.com, dinnerwithschmucks.threadless.com for your swag. There is a 100th episode. I almost said 100th anniversary. 100th episode collection up there for you now. We've got some new patches now that you can get starting next week. And on Instagram, Dinner with Schmucks, Dinner with Schmucks on Facebook, DWS Podcast on Twitter. And I'm also going to plug High Stick Creative, as we have taken care of all of the creative here. And then the Emblem Source, who is our official supplier of our Dinner with Schmucks patches, theemblemsource.com. Check them out as well. You can get a lot of licensed sports patches, and they'll do custom patches for you too. So, and if you want a custom Benny Band, reach out to Benny Bands as well. They're willing to do custom bands for that.
And don't forget, DrDieterPeter.com.
If you've got
something to show me, I'll take a look.
All right, and with that, we want to thank Yajaira. Even though she's not here, she did do a lot of preparation for us. While I was handling a lot of the technical aspects, she actually was the one who gave us all these questions and everything.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without her. Yeah. I mean, and I even offered to swap places with her, and because she originated this with you, Chris, and she basically said no. She wanted us to do it, and so we love you.
Yep, she's got the episode. She's going to be there next week. Lisa Bobisa is going to be in town next week for the 100th, so it's going to be a good time. And with that, we are going to sign off. We'll talk to you next week live from Stalter's Cafe.
All right, later, Schmucks.
See you.
Namaste, you guys. Bon appetit, Wolfgang Schmucks.
This has been another episode of the Dinner with Schmucks podcast. If you like what you heard, you can find us on social media, facebook.com/dinnerwithschmucks. We are Dinner with Schmucks on Instagram and at DWS Podcast on Twitter. If you want to connect with us old school, you can send us an email, dinnerwithschmucks@gmail.com. We may even give you our mailing address. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review on iTunes. Oh, and make sure you tell a friend. Until next time. What are you doing buying your stuff from the guy selling in the parking lot? Dinnerwithschmucks.threadless.com is the only place to pick up all of your official Dinner with Schmucks podcast swag.
T-shirt done?
Tees, hoodies, cell phone cases, and prints. It's all just a click away. Dinnerwithschmucks.threadless.com.